This man was reborn 1 month before the apocalypse. Unexpectedly, he stockpiled millions of tons of pork inside his spatial dimension. In his previous life, he possessed an unimaginable power that allowed him to dominate all other survivors. However, in the end, he fell into despair in a world overrun by zombies and chose to end his own life to escape its darkness. Yet, after his death, he was unexpectedly reborn. Even his overpowered spatial ability from his past life returned with him. At that moment, a group of delivery workers stood before him. "Mr. Tran, the 100 portions of fried chicken you ordered have been delivered." "Mr. Tran, please check your order. The 100 roast ducks have also arrived." But it wasn't just chicken and duck. He had ordered an enormous supply of food and necessities in preparation for the upcoming apocalypse. Tran Lak said, "All right, you can leave now. I trust you all." Seeing how much he had ordered, the delivery workers couldn't help but make snide remarks. "Is this guy starving or something? Why would he buy so much food? Rich people really do think differently. I swear, this guy must be crazy." Haha. Tran Lak overheard their comments but ignored those fools. They would understand soon enough. In just 1 month, being surrounded by so much food felt incredible. After all, just 3 days ago, he had been starving to death in the apocalypse. Inside his personal storage space, empty roast duck boxes lay scattered across the dark void. Yes, 27 days from now, a zombie outbreak would devastate the world. 80% of humanity would turn into zombies, and the remaining survivors would struggle to stay alive. However, some humans would evolve and awaken supernatural abilities, some enhancing their physical strength, others wielding elemental powers, and some developing psychic abilities. But his power was different. Tran Lak possessed an extremely rare ability, spatial manipulation. People called him the Void Monarch. With this power, he thrived in battle and had unparalleled survival skills. However, life in the apocalypse was brutal. He was forced to fight endlessly for resources, and in the end, he had to kill every last survivor just to stay alive. Left completely alone, Tran Lak was consumed by loneliness. Thus, he dug his own grave and buried himself, choosing to escape that bleak, miserable world. But when he opened his eyes again, he found himself reborn, 27 days before the apocalypse. Although his combat power and supernatural abilities had disappeared, his spatial storage remained intact. Now, what's the most crucial thing in an apocalypse? Food. Without food and water, no one could survive, and Tran Lak now had the power to freeze time inside his personal storage space. Excitement surged through him. It was as if fate had given him a second chance to gamble with destiny. There was no way he would let this opportunity slip away. Without hesitation, he began stockpiling massive amounts of supplies in his spatial dimension. Just then, his phone rang. "Tran Lak, get over here right now. We need to talk." After hanging up, Tran Lak muttered, "So, it begins. But this time, I won't be so naive." An hour later, he arrived at Tran Corporation's headquarters. As he sat in his chair, the man in front of him bombarded him with questions. "Why did you sell off all your billions in stocks? That's a massive decision, and you didn't even tell me? Do you still see me as family?" "Tran Lak, if you're being threatened or facing difficulties, you can always talk to me." Tran Lak rested his chin on his hand, deep in thought. This old man really knows how to put on a show. Had it not been for the apocalypse, he never would have overheard his cousin's sinister plan to murder his parents and steal their shares. If he hadn't learned the truth, he would have been deceived for the rest of his life. Finally, he spoke. "No one is threatening me. I just have a premonition that pork prices will skyrocket. I invested all my billions into stockpiling pork. Soon, I'll be able to sell it for tens, even hundreds of billions, perhaps far more than anyone can imagine." The old man's expression changed. Has this brat lost his mind? But he quickly masked his thoughts and spoke in a softer tone. "Well then, why don't you sell me the rest of your stocks?" Tran Lak scratched his head and said, "Sorry, but I've already sold them. Looks like you won't be able to buy the stocks back." Hearing this, the old man was left speechless. Suddenly, Tran Lak spoke again. "I need to step outside to take a call." The old man forced a smile and said, "Go ahead." As Tran Lak left, the old man watched his retreating figure and thought, "That little brat actually dared to go behind my back. I must teach him a lesson." Outside, Lam Ngu answered an unknown call. "Who is this?" A voice on the other end replied, "Mr. Tran, the black-furred dog you asked me to find has been located in a countryside estate. However, it's missing one ear. I'll send you a picture to confirm if it's the right one." Upon hearing this, Tran Lak was delighted. "I'll check right away." After the apocalypse, survivors ranked ability users based on their power. Top 1 of the space system, Tran Lak. Top 1 of the fire system, a blood rose spirit flame. Top 1 of the lightning system, a dog known as the lightning Dharma Cane. In the apocalypse, any living creature that wasn't turned into a zombie had a chance to awaken an ability. However, this lightning ability user was a dog. With food being scarce, many people looked at this dog and saw a meal rather than a powerful being. Just as Tran Lak expected, this poor creature had suffered terribly. He had once been the only person who could defeat it in battle. so he knew it well. Staring at his phone, he practically drooled. That flavor, that scent. Yes, that's definitely the one. The dog with the torn ear, it has to be him. Tran Lak chuckled to himself. Dharma King, oh Dharma King, this time, I won't let you go hungry. How about we become friends? I'll make sure you eat well and stay warm every day. Little Black, this time, I will save you, and you will acknowledge me as your master. An hour later, Tran Lak arrived at a dog meat restaurant. The pitiful dog inside the cage looked nothing like the legendary warrior it would become in the apocalypse. Tran Lak approached and whispered, "Don't be afraid, I'm here to save you." Then, he turned and shouted, "Where's the owner of this place? Get out here." A man rushed forward. "I'm here, sir, what can I do for you? You stole my dog and still dare to ask why I'm here? If I hadn't found out in time, my little Black would already be in your cooking pot." The restaurant owner frowned, thinking, wasn't this a stray dog? How could it have an owner? Scratching his head, he said, "Brother, all our dogs come from legal sources. Village dogs look alike. You must be mistaken." Tran Lak narrowed his eyes. "Legal sources? All right, I'll call the police and let them investigate your so-called legal sources." The man visibly tensed. Hey, no need for that. Let's not make a big deal out of this." Tran Lak smirked. "Oh, you want to fight me instead?" Before the man could react, Tran Lak grabbed his arm, twisted it behind his back, and kicked his leg out from under him, slamming him to the ground. After surviving countless battles in the apocalypse, how could he be afraid of a weakling like this? Tran Lak looked down at him. "So, still want to handle me?" The man, now drenched in sweat, clasped his hands together in submission. "Brother, no, big brother, please, have mercy. This is all just a misunderstanding." He quickly ran to the cage. Which one is your dog? Just take him, no charge, okay?" Tran Lak chuckled. "Good, since your attitude isn't bad, I'll let this slide, but next time, don't push your luck." He had plenty of money to buy Little Black back, but getting something for free always felt better. The moment Little Black was released, he wagged his tail excitedly. The seller nervously said, "You can take him now." "Sir." Lam Ngu crouched down and looked at the dog. "Do you want to come home with me?" The dog seemed to understand. It thought to itself, "Little Black? Is he talking about me? But he saved my life. I suppose I should follow him." Seeing Little Black move toward him, Tran Lak smirked. As expected, it has intelligence. Taming the Lightning Dharma King, complete. And damn, did he look cool doing it. He even drove his Lamborghini to pick up the dog. Once inside, Tran Lak looked over and said, "From now on, stay with me. I'll call you Dharma King. Alright?" The dog let out a bark. Woof. For now, he needed to build a bond with the Lightning Dharma King. "Let's go, I'll buy you some food." Tran Lak stopped near a military officer. His name was Dai Tru. In his past life, while Tran Lak wandered the apocalypse with his void space ability, it was this man who used his superhuman strength to fight off zombies and help Tran Lak escape. In the end, Dai Tru sacrificed himself, allowing Tran Lak to live. Tran Lak met his sworn brother again and thought, "This time, I'll make sure you eat and drink to your heart's content." He then said, "Dai Tru, let's go out for drinks after work tonight. Just the two of us. Catching up and having a good time." However, Dai Tru, being the serious young man he was, replied, "No way, big bro. My mom said men shouldn't pick up bad habits." Tran Lak was speechless, so he joked, "Fine, then call your mom and invite her too." That left Dai Tru at a loss for words. At that moment, Tran Lak suddenly realized that in this timeline, he and Dai Tru weren't that close yet. But here he was, inviting him for drinks as if they had known each other for years. It wasn't until the apocalypse that they truly became comrades who trusted each other with their lives. The scene shifted to a luxurious villa with an indoor waterfall. Tran Lak looked at Tu Hak and said, "Dharma King, from now on, this is your home. Come in and let me give you a bath." As he bathed Tu Hak, Tran Lak thought to himself, "Being reborn in this life, it's beyond anything I could have imagined. Who would have thought that in my previous life, I would end up as the last human on Earth?" But then he smirked. "At least this time, I know what's coming after the apocalypse. I know what kind of supernatural abilities will appear. Maybe I should build a base and recruit ability users like Tu Hak? That way, I can also restore my spatial ability." Of course, setting up a base required an immense amount of resources, food, water, medicine, and countless other necessities. After all, in the apocalypse, even rainwater becomes contaminated, and there's no real way to fight off the zombie virus. Lost in thought, Tran Lak suddenly snapped back to reality. "There's so much I need to do." He looked at Tu Hak and said, "Tu Hak, don't be afraid. This life will be completely different for you. Just help me with your lightning ability, and we'll be fine." Zombies in the post-apocalyptic world are terrified of electricity, even though it's useless at first. But hey, electricity is what keeps big bases running. Haha. With that, he immediately started purchasing all the necessary supplies. There's no time to waste. By dinner time, one man and one dog were sitting together, sharing a meal. Tran Lak smiled and said, "Tu Hak, eat slower. or you'll choke." He tossed a bone aside and reassured, "Don't worry, we have enough food and supplies to last a lifetime." When he noticed Tiu Hak throwing his bone away in the same manner as him, he chuckled to himself, "Did this dog just imitate me?" But then, looking at the pile of bones in front of him, he suddenly felt a bit awkward. Wait, am I actually just insulting myself here? Just as he was enjoying a chicken leg, a sudden knock came from the door. A woman's voice called out, "It's Ma Nok." Seeing her, Tran Lak's eyes lit up. Ma Nok was a private chef for hire, and in this timeline, he was still learning how to cook from her. He had almost forgotten. He immediately invited her inside. Ma Nok, on the other hand, was thinking to herself, "It's just cooking, but he's paying me 500,000 a month? Damn, rich people are something else." She couldn't help but suspect Tran Lak had some hidden agenda. But when she saw his face, she suddenly felt at ease. With a guy like him, I doubt he's even interested in me. She thought about it again. With his money, he probably has no shortage of beautiful women. He wouldn't waste his time on someone like me, right? Meanwhile, Lam Nu, another chef, had already stocked up on all the necessary ingredients. In the apocalypse, not knowing how to cook is a serious disadvantage. No matter how much it costs, learning is worth it. Ma Nok walked into the kitchen and said, "Alright, let's get started. Today, I'll teach you how to make sweet and sour ribs." Hearing that, Tran Lak got excited. Finally, a real dish. But then, he smirked. "Of course, I'll pay her next month. But next month is literally the apocalypse." He. Ma Nok, focused on cooking, instructed, "Cut the ribs into smaller pieces. Once they cool a bit, put them in the pot. Now, pour the oil." "Wait, why are you pouring so much? You think oil is free?" She scolded him again. "You seriously can't tell the difference between sugar and salt?" The final result? A dish so nightmarish that it could only be considered appetizing to zombies. After finishing one dish, Tran Lak was already exhausted. Why does this feel harder than fighting zombies?" Even so, Ma Nok gave him a slight compliment. "Better than last time." Tran Lak looked at his own cooking and felt a shiver down his spine. Even Tiu Hak refused to eat it. The dog barked, "I have no grudge against you. Master, why are you trying to poison me?" Ma Nok said, "Try harder next time, you'll improve little by little." But Tran Lak thought, "This won't do, I should probably just hire a chef for the apocalypse." After the lesson, Ma Nok said goodbye and left. Tran Lak thought to himself, "Honestly, her cooking skills are solid. I wonder how she'll survive in the apocalypse." Watching her walk away, he suddenly grinned. "Ma Nok, I can already see it. Fate has decided, we belong together." Hee. Just then, he spotted someone very familiar. Ahead, two beautiful girls walked side by side, chatting and laughing. But these sisters were far from ordinary. The elder sister, Mi Lin, had awakened the flame ability, becoming the top-ranked firemaster. Her younger sister, Mi Lap, was even more formidable. She was a light ability user, although her combat strength in her past life wasn't exceptional. She was the strongest support. Later, she even mastered healing techniques. Tran Lak immediately pulled out his phone and made a note. "I must recruit these two." Then, he made a call. "You have 3 days to investigate a pair of sisters for me. Most importantly, find out what they like to eat." At this point, it was already May 28th, only 5 days left until the apocalypse. The report came back. Mi Lin liked spicy food and fruits like grapes. Mi Lap preferred fish, especially braised pork trotters. Her favorite fruit? Watermelon. Looking at the list, Tran Lak smirked. Braised dishes. Huh? Not a bad idea. I should stock up on some myself. May 29 to 4 days until the apocalypse. Tran Lak purchased a combat suit, one for himself and another for Dai Tru. May 30 to 3 days until the apocalypse. He acquired an electric baseball bat. The normal voltage could stun, but the high voltage could kill. May 31 to 2 days until the apocalypse. He bought a truck for himself. June 1st, the day before the apocalypse. That night, Tran Lak couldn't sleep. "In my past life, I suffered like a dog. But if the apocalypse doesn't actually happen, wouldn't all my preparations be for nothing? Maybe I should just sacrifice myself for the good of humanity." June 2 to 1 hour and 20 minutes before the apocalypse. Tran Lak made another call. "Hello, uncle. Sorry for calling so early. But I need your help. From what I know, cryptocurrency is about to surge, possibly tenfold. But you see, I spent all my money on pork. So, I'd like to use 10 billion yuan worth of goods as collateral for a 5 billion yuan loan. Once it rises, that 5 billion will turn into 50 billion. It'll be a huge profit for you." Then he added, "How about I come over and explain in person? Call Phi Ca2. As he walked, he thought to himself, "The apocalypse will be the day you all die." Before getting out of the car, he turned to Tiu Hak. "Stay inside and keep safe. Don't run around." Tiu Hak barked in response. "Woof." Looking over at Dai Tru, Tran Lak thought, "Even without my guidance in the last life, he survived just fine, but since we're friends, I should at least give him a heads up." He walked up and said, "I have a bad feeling today. Like something terrible is about to happen." Around 9 a.m., be extra careful. Hearing that, Dai Tru grew uneasy. Oh okay, Tran Ca, I'll be careful. At the Tran family villa, Tran Lak's uncle scoffed. That brat thinks cryptocurrency is about to surge? Is he insane? His son, however, replied, but father, this could be a great opportunity. His uncle sneered, that kid knows I tricked him last time. There's no way he'd help me make money. But his son insisted, I know crypto well, he's desperate for a reason. And honestly, who else could he borrow 5 billion from besides us? Just as they were discussing, they heard that Tran Lak had arrived. His father warned, let's stay cautious. At 9:05 a.m., a man greeted Tran Lak with a smirk. Tran Lak, you're a bit timid, but don't worry, just let this brother take care of you. Then, he pulled Tran Lak into a tight hug, making him cringe in disgust. After some greetings, Tran Lak devoured his meal like a starving beast, shocking everyone. Why is he eating like that? They wondered. Just then, a strange noise came from outside. The uncle ordered, Phi, go check it out. But Tran Lak already knew what was coming. He rushed out, saying, I'll go too. If something happens, we might need to take Phi Ca to the hospital. His uncle frowned, feeling suspicious. At that moment, Phi Ca was just about to open the front gate, only to come face to face with a zombie. His family's maid had turned, and he fell back in terror. What the hell is happening? The zombie lunged at him, groaning hungrily. Blood? So much blood? But Phi Ca slammed the door shut just in time. Then, a hand suddenly grabbed the door, stopping him from closing it completely. It was Tran Lak. Brother, closing the door won't help you see what's really happening outside. And with that, he knocked Phi Ca out with a single blow to the back of the head. As he grabbed the main entrance, he smirked, don't worry, I won't let you die from something as painless as electricity. As soon as the words left his mouth, Tran Lak immediately swung the door open. The zombie lunged at Duong Xie, tearing into his body. Lao Bak rushed outside and was utterly shocked by the scene before him. Tran Lak, what the hell are you doing? He roared, then charged at Tran Lak in a blind fury. But Tran Lak simply raised his bat and said, come on. Then, Lao Bak, despite his aggressive words, instinctively recoiled when he saw the bat swing toward him. Tran Lak laughed heartily. Haha, what's wrong? Are you some kind of insulator that doesn't get electrocuted? Go ahead, try blocking it. A second later, Lao Bak was sprawled out on the floor. Tran Lak smirked. Oof, that looked painful. At that moment, Duong Xie regained consciousness. Groaning in agony, he turned his desperate gaze to his father and cried out, Dad, help me. Tran Lak scoffed. I don't have a son like you. Duong Xie, struggling, reached out toward Tran Lak's leg. But Tran Lak kicked his hand away. Your father's down there, he said coldly. Duong Xie tried to say something, but before the words could escape his lips, the zombie behind him sank its teeth into his flesh. Tran Lak stood on the side, watching the horrific scene unfold with icy detachment. He then casually tapped Lao Bak with his bat. Wake up, old man, he said. Lao Bak snapped back to consciousness, only to see his son being devoured alive. He turned to Tran Lak and screamed, Tran Lak, Tran Phi is your cousin. Save him. I admit I wronged your family. But Tiu Phi had nothing to do with it. Tran Lak narrowed his eyes. Is that so? And what else have you done? Lao Bak was startled by Tran Lak's unnerving calmness. Could it be that he already knew everything? Tran Lak grabbed him by the collar. Think carefully, he warned. Your son won't last much longer. Even then, Lao Bak stubbornly held his ground. Tran Lak, if you save Tiu Phi now, I might still let you off the hook. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time escaping this mess. Tran Lak shook his head. I already gave you a chance. Lao Bak clenched his teeth and spat. You heartless bastard, how dare you kill your own cousin and uncle? Even animals wouldn't do something this despicable. Tran Lak slapped him across the face. Are you talking about yourself? He sneered. My parents took you in and gave you a place in the Tran Corporation. And what did you do in return? You plotted against them, had them killed, and stole the company. And now you have the audacity to lecture me? Without another word, Tran Lak threw him toward the zombie. A pang of emotion flickered across his face as he muttered. Father, I couldn't do anything to help you back then. But this is the best I can do now. With the father and son dealt with, the remaining zombies immediately turned their attention to Tran Lak. He swung his electric bat, smashing it into the face of the nearest one. As expected, he thought, aside from their mindless hunger for human flesh, they have no emotions at all. The zombie let out a blood-curdling shriek as the electricity coursed through its body. Though it lacked fear, it still felt pain. The momentary paralysis and dizziness were proof that the shock was effective. Killing these things isn't that hard. Tran Lak mused. All I have to do is stab them straight through the forehead. It was a gruesome method, but it worked. Besides, right between their eyebrows lay something truly valuable, energy crystals. In this zombie-infested world, these energy crystals serve multiple purposes. At that moment, Tran Lak was storing the crystal in his personal space. The energy within zombie crystals not only helps awakeners recover quickly but can also enhance their abilities. Fire element crystals are red, wind element crystals are blue, and space element crystals are transparent. However, when Tran Lak obtained a crystal from the Dharma cane, it was purple. After dealing with a ruthless father and son, Tran Lak stepped outside to check the situation. Almost immediately, a zombie lunged at him, but he greeted it with a swing of his bat. The zombie, already weak, convulsed from the electric shock emitted by the bat. Tran Lak then retrieved the crystal from the zombie's body, considering it a well-earned reward for putting the creature out of its misery. From inside the car, Tiu Hak watched Tran Lak's merciless attacks in shock, whimpering to itself, "Is my master really this ruthless?" Noticing its reaction, Tran Lak walked over and reassured it. "Dharma King, I think we're both about to awaken soon. These are just zombies, not humans. Once you awaken, we'll hit the road," leading Tiu Hak back into the house. Tran Lak noticed the little creature was still unsettled by the sight of corpses. He casually remarked, "You'll get used to it soon enough." Then, he relaxed on the sofa, peeling an apple as if nothing in the world could disturb him. Just as he took a bite, something strange happened. Tiu Hak suddenly started convulsing. Its lightning ability had begun to awaken. Overwhelmed by pain, it trembled uncontrollably. Even Tran Lak had to step aside, marveling at the situation. "What a great master I am." When the awakening process finally ended, Tiu Hak collapsed in exhaustion. Seeing that it was safe, Tran Lak approached, still munching on his apple. He thought to himself, "Looks like Tiu Hak has successfully awakened its lightning ability. Now we can roam freely among the zombies." Just as that thought crossed his mind, Tran Lak felt something was off. The apple slipped from his fingers, and a wave of excruciating pain surged through him. "Looks like it's my turn to awaken another ability." Gritting his teeth, he fought to stay upright, then sat down, trying to sort through the surging energy. As he waved his hand, 2 streaks of green light shot forward, instantly distorting the wall ahead. Tiu Hak barked in response. Tran Lak examined his own hand and sighed. "Not good, even at a quarter of my strength. This attack isn't strong enough to kill a zombie." In this apocalypse, abilities are ranked from level 1 to level 10. However, reaching level 10 isn't the end, there's still the king rank beyond that. In their past lives, Dharma King, Tiu Hak, and Elin had all reached the king rank. Tran Lak himself had also attained that level. But after obtaining the Dharma King's crystal, he had ascended to an even greater power, though he had yet to understand what that entailed. At this moment, the crystal in front of him was a transparent, level 1 space element crystal. If he collected 20 more, he could advance to level 2. Turning to Tiu Hak, he warned, "Don't you dare zap me. First, focus on sensing and gathering energy. Then release it." Sure enough, a second later, Tiu Hak let out a loud yell. Pika pika, a massive 100.000 volt bolt of lightning struck the wall. Tran Lak chuckled and patted its head. "Good job, keep practicing." Not long after, Tran Lak led Tiu Hak to an area swarming with zombies for some combat training. "Let's split up and take them down," he suggested. Tiu Hak barked in agreement. Tran Lak was fully geared up, wearing armor and wielding 2 electrified baseball bats, while Tiu Hak had nothing but its fur. As they approached, a zombie spotted them but barely had time to react before being struck by their combined attack. Seeing Tiu Hak's strength, the zombie flinched in disbelief. Tiu Hak was surprised too. It actually dodged? Tran Lak pointed and reassured. "It's fine, just lure them over here." Tiu Hak dashed around, taunting the zombies like it was playing a game. "Be careful," Tran Lak reminded it. After finishing off the zombies outside, Tran Lak entered a high-end villa's supermarket. Using his space ability, he swiftly stored all the essential supplies inside his dimension. Efficient as ever, he fought zombies while looting the store for food and energy crystals. Meanwhile, outside, Tiu Hak was still playfully luring zombies away, sprinting back and forth. It started to wonder, how does my master deal with zombies so effortlessly? Tran Lak, ever considerate, casually patted its head with one hand while striking down zombies with the other. "One day, you'll be as strong as me." Encouraged, Tiu Hak barked eagerly. At the same time, the world was descending into chaos as the zombie outbreak spread. While Tran Lak was driving, a young man shouted from behind. Accelerating toward him, the man asked, "Hey, what's going on? Why can't I make any phone calls?" Tran Lak simply replied, "The apocalypse has begun." The man was stunned by the word apocalypse but tried to maintain his composure. "Bro, let's stick together. If something happens, we can watch each other's backs." Tran Lak coldly replied, "I don't need it." The man who heard this grew furious and cursed. "You'll turn into a zombie soon enough. Just wait and see." Tran Lak had considered recruiting some underlings, but if anyone wanted to follow him, they had to be elite. Only the strong could survive. As he drove, lost in thought, he suddenly noticed something ahead. A massive horde of zombies was blocking the road. Within seconds, the sound of his vehicle had already attracted countless zombies from the streets. Sensing fresh prey, they immediately rushed toward him. Tran Lak stepped out of the car and smirked. Just as expected, 2 zombies lunged at him but were instantly knocked to the ground. However, 3 more attacked from behind. Without even turning, Tran Lak swung his bat. Amused, "You think you can ambush me? Pathetic." Only 1 zombie remained, charging at him while he was still chuckling. It managed to sink its teeth into his arm. But Tran Lak had anticipated this. He purposely let it bite him before sending it flying, thanks to his protective armor. Raising his bat, he scoffed, "If no one's around to pull your teeth in the apocalypse, I'll do the honors." A second later, he dashed forward and swung his bat. "Not that it matters, since none of you will last long enough to need it." Just as he was about to attack again, his bat suddenly malfunctioned. "Oh, come on, the damn battery died at the worst time." Frustrated, Tran Lak tossed the bat at the zombies. "Fine, take it if you want. Just don't bite me." But let's not forget, Tran Lak had a spatial ability. In an instant, a brand new baseball bat appeared in his hands, and he resumed his zombie slaying spree. Naturally, after finishing them off, he collected their energy crystals. At that moment, Tu Hack ran over, looking around in confusion. Then it barked, "Woof woof." Tran Lak proudly showed off the truck he had bought in preparation for this very day. "If you don't mind me being broke, hop on, I'll take you for a ride." As they got into the truck, Tran Lak smirked and asked, "Tu Hack, with this ride?" He suddenly floored the gas pedal. Then continued, "Why should we fear any zombies?" The garage door was blasted open as the truck rammed through it. Tran Lak let out a satisfied laugh. "Damn, that felt amazing." As they drove out, they encountered a group of zombies in worker uniforms. But no matter how many there were, his truck could plow through them all. Watching the vehicle mow down zombies effortlessly made me want one too. Even Tu Hack was startled by how ruthless the scene was. Meanwhile, a few people watching from a nearby building were awestruck. "Holy shit, this guy is a total beast." 3 people were discussing among themselves. "That truck is even stronger than the others in this cold storage facility. Let's ask him to take us out of here." The young man who had encountered Tran Lak earlier sneered. "You guys think you're some kind of VIPs? You expect him to risk his life for you? Besides, that guy is ruthless. If he weren't, he wouldn't be cutting down zombies like that." After a pause, he added, "I bet he came here because he knew this facility had supplies. Once he gets what he needs, he's gone." Then he suggested, "Forget asking. Let's just take his truck and escape ourselves." At that moment, Tran Lak had stepped out of his vehicle, preparing to gather supplies. The group upstairs continued arguing over whether to steal his truck. The young man hesitated but ultimately agreed with the plan. While Tran Lak was collecting zombie crystals, a girl approached him. "Hello." She turned out to be part of the group that had been scheming against him. "Thanks for dealing with the zombies for us," she said sweetly. Tran Lak figured she was trying to ask for help. "How many of you are there?" he asked. "3, she replied, adding a bit of small talk to stall for time. Just as expected, her teammates suddenly ambushed him, restraining him. He was speechless. "Seriously? You were just thanking me a moment ago." 2 of the guys sneered. "Dude, don't struggle. Relax. We just need to borrow your truck." Tran Lak remained silent. From the truck, Tu Hack suddenly leapt down to rescue his master. The 2 men sneered at the little pup, completely underestimating it. But what they didn't realize was that Tran Lak had already summoned an electrified baseball bat using his spatial ability. Zap! The 2 fools were instantly sent flying, regretting their life choices. Tran Lak sighed. Well, dead men tell no tales. After finishing them off, he turned his gaze toward the girl who had lured him into the trap. Seeing him approach, she burst into tears, begging for mercy. Tran Lak coldly said, "Shut the hell up." She screamed and ran away. "Chumina." Tran Lak chuckled. "Damn, she's fast." Then he called out, "Tu Hack, get her." Following the order, Tu Hack charged forward and rammed into her back. There was no escape. Tran Lak swiftly finished her off. After wrapping up, they continued scavenging for supplies. This place had everything: drinks, seafood, meat, and more. After securing the entire stock, they grinned with satisfaction. Tran Lak decided they had collected enough for the day and took a break before continuing their loot run. As they were driving, a man appeared on the road, signaling for them to stop. "Can you give me a ride?" he asked. But something about him seemed off. He was holding a bat, and it didn't look trustworthy at all. Tran Lak immediately saw through him. Yeah, this guy's definitely up to no good. He thought to himself, I literally just dealt with some thieves. And now another one shows up? The man kept waving, trying to get the truck to stop. But Tran Lak didn't give a damn and sped right past him. Seeing this, the guy cursed angrily. "You trying to run me over?" Tran Lak glanced in the rearview mirror and saw the man fuming behind him. "Trying to rob me? Go find your own loot, you pig." But suddenly, Tran Lak hit the brakes. He turned to Tu Hack and said, "That guy just said he wants to eat dog meat." Tu Hack tilted its head in confusion. It hadn't heard the words dog meat at all. The man saw the car stop and immediately rolled up his sleeves, ready to teach Tran Lak a lesson. At that moment, Tu Hack jumped down, eager to see if the man really wanted to eat dog meat. Seeing a dog approach, the man was momentarily surprised. But he didn't care much. Without hesitation, he raised his hand to strike. Before he could react, Tiu Hak zapped him with electricity. If master wants you dead, then you must die. Then it added, so, you like dog meat, huh? Take this. Tran Lak poked his head out of the car and said, next time, don't hesitate when you attack. That's the only way to survive in the apocalypse. Hearing this, Tiu Hak immediately lunged at the man's throat, thinking, master is right. And just like that, the man was done for. Tran Lak called Tiu Hak back into the car, and they sped off, ignoring the zombies along the way. Since the roads in this area were narrow, Tiu Hak had to lure the zombies away. Tran Lak smirked. Once Tiu Hak runs off, the zombies will return, and then they'll become my free security guards. Let's see if anyone dares to steal my car now. As he drove, he thought, my rebirth shouldn't have changed the world too much, so Dai Tru should still be safe. After clearing out some zombies in a nearby mansion, Tran Lak collected their energy crystals. He had no idea how many he had gathered by now. But at the moment, he had a bigger problem. He had no clue where Dai Tru was hiding. Looks like I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Without hesitation, he ran around shouting, Dai Tru, where are you? On the other side, Dai Tru heard his voice. The girl next to him panicked. Don't go over there, that guy is crazy. If he shouts like that, won't he attract all the zombies? Dai Tru hesitated. If he ran out now, he could put both of them in danger. Why is Tran Xie looking for me like this? Tran Lak kept calling out, making Dai Tru feel like he had to do something. The girl clung to him and pleaded, if you go, take me with you, don't leave me here alone. Just then, they looked down and saw a few zombies heading toward Tran Lak. But before they could even get close, smack! With a single swing, the zombie was completely stunned. Watching this, Dai Tru couldn't help but be amazed. Tran Xie is so strong. Finally, he gathered his courage and shouted, Tran Xie, I'm over here. Tran Lak turned toward the voice and was surprised. Wait, that's Tran Tin? How could I forget about this two-faced snake? In his past life, she had made Dai Tru suffer terribly. She was so cautious that she wouldn't even drink water unless Dai Tru tested it first. This manipulative woman didn't just flirt with Dai Tru, she even tried to seduce Tran Lak to secure food and supplies. Tran Lak walked up to her and smirked. Tran Tin, if you try your tricks again in this life, don't blame me for exposing you to Dai Tru. Then he turned to Dai Tru. Come with me, we can watch each other's backs. Tran Tin quickly put on a sweet smile and waved. Hello, brother Tran, Dai Tru has told me so much about you. Tran Lak ignored her. Let's get out of here. If zombies show up, it'll be troublesome. Tran Tin clenched her jaw in frustration but quickly forced a smile. Yes, of course, she thought to herself, I need to stay close to these two. If I stick with them, I'll be safe. Soon, they arrived at a luxurious mansion. Tran Tin glanced around and was surprised. This place looked untouched by the apocalypse. If I wait here for the government's rescue, I can use that as leverage to control Tran Lak. Two birds with one stone. Suddenly, their stomachs growled. Tran Lak turned to them. Hungry? Don't rush, I'll find something to eat. But inside, he was thinking, there's no way I'm letting this snake manipulate us again. A moment later, he casually pulled out some food from his spatial storage. Then he glanced at Tiu Hak and grinned mischievously. She made us suffer so much in our past lives. A little payback won't hurt. With a smirk, he wiped the bread against Tiu Hak's butt. Tiu Hak yelped in shock. What the hell, master? Lam Nu brought out 2 pieces of bread and said, this is all we have left. Let's share it. Dai Tru, being kind-hearted, said, Tran Xie, save one for me. No worries, Tran Lak replied, tossing a piece to Tran Tin. Girls have smaller stomachs, so take the smaller one. Tran Tin smiled sweetly. Thank you, brother Tran. But deep down, she was fuming. This tiny piece? How am I supposed to get full off this? Still, she forced a bright smile and took a bite. Meanwhile, Tiu Hak stared at her in disbelief. She's really eating it? Her taste is insane. Asterisk. Watching her eat, Tran Lak grinned in satisfaction. But he knew he had to act fast. If he wanted to eliminate future threats, he had to expose her true nature soon. Tran Lak said to Dai Tru, zombies are everywhere. We need to figure out a way to get to the supermarket and gather supplies. Dai Tru replied, as long as I have my electric baseball bat, no zombie can touch you as long as I'm alive. Tran Lak chuckled. Even so, there are still a lot of zombies. Little sister, you may be small, but your speed doesn't seem too bad. Pointing at her, Tran Lak declared, Dai Tru and I will go to the supermarket, and you'll lure the zombies away. After that, we'll regroup at home. She was stunned. If you want to eat, you have to work for it. If you don't work but still want to eat, you're just a freeloader. Putting on a pitiful expression, she whimpered, I'm really weak. I can't run fast. If I do this, I'll die. Tran Lak raised an eyebrow. Then what can you do? After a moment, he sighed. Fine, I'll lure the zombies instead. You and Dai Tru can go gather supplies. She clutched her chest dramatically. It's not that I don't want to help. But I'm afraid I'll be too weak and end up slowing everyone down. Tran Lak narrowed his eyes. So basically, you want Dai Tru and me to take all the risks while you sit back and enjoy the rewards? She fumed inside. Is this guy insane? He actually expects a girl like me to take action? Turning to Dai Tru, she tried to play the damsel in distress. Brother Dai Tru, but before she could finish, Tran Lak cut in. He knew exactly what she was trying to do, manipulate Dai Tru into speaking up for her. Clearing his throat, Tran Lak said, I haven't had a drink all morning, so my throat's a bit dry. I really should have brought more water. I don't even know if the water outside is safe to drink. Then he pointed at her. Why don't you test it first? If you do, I won't make you go. She nearly exploded with rage. He wants to use me as a test subject? I haven't dared to drink anything since this all started. She still had a bottle of water. But with Dai Tru around, she didn't dare drink it. He might ask her to share. Suddenly, she glanced at Tu Hack and smirked. That's it, we can let it drink the water first as an experiment. Tu Hack's eyes widened in disbelief. I may not be human, but you, lady, are truly heartless. Furious, Tu Hack lunged at her. Baring its teeth, she quickly used her bag as a shield. When her bag hit the ground, food and drinks spilled out. Tran Lak bent down, picked up a bottle, and smirked. Oh, you sure brought a lot of supplies. Then he casually poked a straw into the bottle. I don't like sharing drinks with dirty people like you. Taking a sip, he handed a snack to Dai Tru. Eat up, once we're full, we'll head out. Dai Tru hesitated as he took the snack. He had risked his life to save her. Yet, as he took a bite, a realization hit him. She never planned to share. She wanted to hoard everything for herself. She suddenly lunged forward, screaming, no, that's mine, put it down right now. But Tran Lak simply lifted his foot, just as expected. She tripped and fell flat on her face. Even after face planting, she still had the audacity to shout. Two grown men bullying a weak girl. Do you even call yourselves men? Tran Lak sipped his water calmly. Why don't you ask the zombies if they care whether you're a man or a woman? Though her true colors were showing, it still wasn't enough to make Dai Tru truly angry. Tran Lak knew he had to push things a little further. Looking down at her, he asked, why are you crying? We're eating now so we'll have energy to find supplies later. We'll even pay you back double once we're done. She hesitated. That's true. Right now, I can't afford to turn them against me. She quickly switched gears, sniffling. I was wrong. I shouldn't have hidden supplies from you. I'm really sorry. Hearing her fake apology, Tran Lak scoffed. Damn, she's a master at lying. Turning to Dai Tru, he said, let's head to the supermarket. I'll go ahead and prepare. You two can have your little chat. As he stepped outside, he ordered Tu Hack to lure over a dozen zombies to their location. Tu Hack tilted its head. Why are we bringing zombies to our own doorstep? Meanwhile, Tran Lak tossed a few garlic cloves in his hand and smirked. The real show is just beginning. He stepped back inside and called out. Hey, take a look at this. Dai Tru frowned. Why are you squeezing garlic juice? Tran Lak grinned. Bet you guys don't know this. Garlic can repel zombies. Just like in the movies. His eyes gleamed mischievously. Let's see if our dear green tea schemer takes the bait. Too bad, he sighed. There's only enough garlic water for 2 people. Before he even finished speaking, Tu Hack's signal came. The zombies had arrived. Tran Lak smirked. Alright, Tran Tin, let's see if you're desperate enough to fight for it. Tran Tin turned around and froze. Oh no, the zombies were already hammering against the metal gate. Without hesitation, Tran Lak dumped the garlic water over his head and shouted. Hurry up, Dai Tru, pour it on yourself. But Dai Tru hesitated. He turned to Tran Tin, as if considering giving her his share. Even though he was beginning to resent her, it still wasn't enough for him to abandon her. Tran Tin stared at the bowl of garlic water. Her true nature finally exposed. Just as Dai Tru reached out to hand it to her, she snatched it and poured it over her own head. Dai Tru was stunned. I was going to give it to you. Tran Lak smirked. See that, Dai Tru? In the apocalypse, you can't trust just anyone. You need to judge people carefully, because some of them aren't even worth being called human anymore. Tran Tin turned to him. Furious. You tricked me. Tran Lak scoffed. Or was it just your own rotten nature showing? Leaning in close, he whispered. You're finished. Zombies have an extremely sharp sense of smell when it comes to garlic. She trembled. Didn't you say garlic repels zombies? I was just trying to survive. What's wrong with that? Tran Lak patted her shoulder. Survival isn't wrong, but at least be honest about it. A manipulative snake like you doesn't even deserve to be eaten by zombies. Reaching into his spatial storage, he thought, once she's dead, she won't be able to cause trouble anymore. As for Dai Tru, I'll make sure he keeps his mouth shut. Tran Tin's expression shifted between fear and disbelief. She finally realized that Tran Lak had planned this all along. He had poured garlic water on himself before the zombies even arrived. Tran Lak turned to Dai Tru. Stay back, you might get in the way. Panicked, Tran Tin rushed toward Tran Lak. Her voice suddenly soft and pleading. You can do whatever you want to me, just don't let me die. Tran Lak didn't even look at her. Go die, pig. At that moment, the zombies swarmed. She screamed, "What did I ever do to you?" A second later, the horde descended on her, ripping her apart. Tran Lak made quick work of the remaining zombies, wiping them all out. Dai Tru, now wearing armor, stepped forward and saw what was left of Tran Tin. He felt a flicker of emotion, but there was no time for sentimentality. They had to clear the bodies before more zombies came. Exhausted from the battle, Tran Lak dragged the corpses outside, his mind wandering to someone else. Ma Nok, the chef. Since the apocalypse began, I wonder if she managed to find a safe place to hide. At this moment, Tran Lak was deeply worried about Ma Nok. He didn't know whether she was still alive, but now was not the time to dwell on it. Turning to Dai Tru, he thought, in this apocalypse, I should help him as a way to repay the debt from my past life. Suddenly, an idea came to him, and he called out, "Tiu Hak, do you see all that water flowing out? I'll use a cloth to soak it up, then wring it dry. Since cleaning is your responsibility, you'd better get to work. No food until you're done." Tiu Hak couldn't help but think, "Master, you truly are heartless." Just then, Dai Tru walked over and said, "Tran Lak, let's head to the supermarket to get some food and supplies." Tran Lak waved his hand dismissively. "No need to rush, I've got better food right here." A moment later, he revealed a pile of fresh food and fruit, leaving Dai Tru utterly shocked. Where did you get all this?" Tran Lak picked up a can of water. "Haven't you noticed any changes in your body since the apocalypse started?" Hearing that, Dai Tru suddenly recalled the intense headache he had experienced that morning, followed by a strange surge of energy flowing through his body. Tran Lak took a bite of food and explained, "This kind of change, I already had it before the apocalypse." He then demonstrated his ability, revealing his personal storage space. "I can manipulate my own dimension to store supplies." Realization dawned on Dai Tru. So some people awaken special abilities after the apocalypse. Tran Lak raised his drink with a smirk. "I have a feeling we'll be good brothers. Let's toast to that." Looking at the feast on the table, Dai Tru sighed. "There's too much food. We won't be able to finish it all. We should save some for later." Tran Lak shrugged. "If we can't finish it, there's always Tiu Hak." Tiu Hak thought to himself, "Even if it's just leftovers, I'd still be grateful, master." But then, feeling pitiful, he whimpered, "But am I really the one who has to clean the floor?" After eating, Tran Lak handed Dai Tru a few energy crystals. "These can help you level up." Dai Tru looked confused. "Where did you get these?" Tran Lak grinned. "From zombie brains." Seeing Dai Tru's reaction, he added, "Get some rest. Tomorrow, we'll go hunt for more. We need to get stronger if we want to survive." Then, he smirked. "Oh, and don't call me Tran Ka anymore. Just call me An." That night, lying in bed, Tran Lak began testing his abilities. Normally, he could absorb about 8 crystals at a time, but this time, he kept counting 20 and then more. Suddenly, an intense pain shot through his head. I actually leveled up. In his past life, it had taken him 14 days to reach level 2. Yet here he was, achieving it in a single night. And strangely, it felt like he could absorb even more. Curious, he continued absorbing crystals, wondering what his limit was. He soon found that he could create an energy sword, but it disappeared quickly. Completely drained, he collapsed onto his bed. Unbelievable, I just absorbed 42 crystals and even created a void sword. Comparing this to his past life, he realized that at this rate, he might reach level 4 and gain the ability to walk through space, something that had taken him until level 9 in his previous life. Furthermore, reaching the king level, which allowed control over dimensional gates, seemed much closer than before. The next morning, Dai Tru stretched. "Your training method actually works. I feel much stronger. I absorbed about 7 crystals last night." Tiu Hak barked excitedly 9 times. Tran Lak glanced at him. "You absorbed 8 crystals? Not bad." Hearing that, Dai Tru was shocked. "Even Tiu Hak absorbed more than me?" Tran Lak handed him a bat and a suit of armor. "Don't underestimate Tiu Hak. His potential is much higher than yours. Try on this armor. Once we're done eating, we'll head to the food warehouse." Outside the mansion, after breakfast, they stepped outside, only to find their car surrounded by zombies. Tran Lak gave a thumbs up. "I have to admit, using zombies as security guards isn't a bad idea." Dai Tru frowned. "There are too many of them. Should we?" Tran Lak cut him off. "Don't attack. They're guarding the car for free. Let Tiu Hak lure them away instead." Tiu Hak immediately dashed forward, barking to get the zombies' attention. Watching this, Dai Tru felt a bit uneasy. "Why does Tiu Hak seem more useful than me?" Tran Lak chuckled. "Come on, don't compare yourself to a dog. Even I wouldn't want to do what he does." Dai Tru hesitated, but Tran Lak smirked. "He'd even eat *T if needed. I wouldn't." Hearing that, Tiu Hak's ears perked up, and he barked angrily. "When did I ever eat *T? With the zombies successfully lured away, the group finally left the mansion, ready for their next mission. Tran Lak found the food warehouse strange. There were so many people here. Had they all perished? Despite all the commotion, no one was calling for help. The warehouse had several large underground bunkers, so they had likely taken refuge there. He parked the car and began searching for a way down. Before long, they found an entrance to the underground storage. Suddenly, Tran Lak noticed something, a skeleton. Normally, zombies wouldn't strip a body so clean. Could it be that some animals in the warehouse had mutated? A sense of unease crept up his spine. If mutated rats or ants had appeared, that would be a serious problem. As they moved forward, they passed countless skeletons. This is too risky, Tran Lak thought. Even if we don't get any food, our lives are more important. Just then, a sudden noise interrupted their thoughts. Tran Lak shouted, "It's the rats! Run!" Immediately, Tiu Hak and the others bolted. Behind them, a terrifying horde of starving rats chased after them, desperate for their next meal. Once they reached the outside, a rat suddenly appeared in front of Tiu Hak. "Be careful," Tran Lak warned, but soon, even more rats swarmed toward them. Among them, one stood out. It was much larger than the rest. The massive rat pointed at Tran Lak and spoke. "That human looks delicious. Follow me." Tran Lak's expression darkened. A leader, no wonder. In an instant, the Rat King leapt toward them, slamming into Tran Lak's back. His armor absorbed most of the impact, but he was still knocked to the ground. Seeing this, Dai Tru became extremely worried. Things were quickly spiraling out of control. Dai Tru clenched his fists. He couldn't just keep running. Meanwhile, Tran Lak watched the swarm of rats closing in and felt sheer terror. He quickly pulled out his electric baseball bat and began smashing the smaller rats. On the other side, Dai Tru was also under attack. Tran Lak rushed over, swinging his bat to help clear the way. "Thank God for this electric bat, it can actually kill these things," he muttered. But the Rat King was different. It wasn't like the others. Even as countless rats fell, their sheer numbers made them overwhelming. Looking at the Rat King, Tran Lak couldn't help but be impressed. This thing has awakened an advanced ability. Its movements aren't random at all. Most creatures, including zombies, needed time to grow stronger. But some mutated at an abnormal rate, their power skyrocketing in an instant. However, the stronger they became, the shorter their lifespan. Running into one alive is like stepping in shit, Tran Lak thought. Just then, Dai Tru was knocked to the ground by the rats. The Rat King seized the opportunity and lunged at him. Thinking fast, Dai Tru swung his bat at the creature. But it barely flinched. Instead, it kept charging, its fangs bared, ready to bite. In a last-ditch effort, Dai Tru arched his body, causing the rat to bite down on his metal chest plate instead. Even so, the steel bent under the pressure. Lying on the ground, he trembled. "If it bites me again, it'll tear right through." Seeing this, Tran Lak grew anxious. The Rat King is probably around level 3 or 4. Without hesitation, he retrieved 2 pieces of fresh meat from his storage space, tossing them toward the swarm in an attempt to distract them. Then, he rushed in to save Dai Tru. "If I hadn't leveled up last night, I'd be dead right now." The Rat King looked at Tran Lak and scoffed. "You think that little stick of yours can stop me? I'll finish him off first, then deal with you." Tran Lak lunged forward, hoping his void sword would last long enough. "Die, you filthy rat!" The Rat King turned in surprise. Where did that glowing sword come from? In a flash, Tran Lak swung his void blade at the creature. After a fierce battle, he finally took the Rat King's energy crystal. "Damn, this thing is huge," he muttered, looking at Dai Tru, who had finally gotten back on his feet. Tran Lak smirked. "Its fangs are massive," he said. "I could make a weapon out of them." Catching on, Dai Tru stepped forward to break off the fangs. But they were much harder than expected. "Damn, these things are huge. At first, I thought they'd be tiny. But holy shit." Watching Tran Lak store the fang in his spatial dimension, Dai Tru asked curiously, "Just how big is that space of yours?" Tran Lak opened the dimensional gate and smirked. "Not that big, probably about the size of this food warehouse." Then, he turned serious. "Listen, don't tell anyone about this. No matter who they are. You keep your mouth shut." After everything that happened with Tran Tin, Dai Tru had become much more clear-headed. "Don't worry," he assured Tran Lak. "I won't tell anyone about this." By then, the sky had already darkened, surprising them both. Did we really spend all day just fighting rats in that warehouse? As Tran Lak rummaged through the food storage, he muttered, "Looks like the power's been cut off." Before long, the two of them returned to the villa. "Today was really dangerous, Dai Tru," Tran Lak said. "We need to level up quickly if we want to survive." He handed a device to Dai Tru and continued. "I checked. It'll take about 3 days to reach level 3. Let's just stay home and play games to pass the time." And with that, the decision was made. Dinner time. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Looking at the pile of dirty dishes, Tran Lak sighed. "Tiu Hak, if only you could wash dishes too." Tiu Hak was speechless. "Can you just act like a normal human for once?" Tran Lak gulped down a bottle of water and turned to Tiu Hak. "By the way, I think you leveled up to level 2 the other day, right?" Tiu Hak barked in response. "There's an old saying," Tran Lak continued, "a good dog needs training to become strong. Go fight some zombies and practice." Tiu Hak was so done that he didn't even want to respond to his master anymore. Just as he was about to leave, Tran Lak called him back. For a brief moment, Tiu Hak thought his owner had changed his mind and wouldn't send him out. But instead, Tran Lak handed him a few trash bags. Take these out while you're at it. Watching this, Tran Lak sighed, sweeping, taking out the trash. You really are a full-grown dog now. But if I don't tell you, you never take the initiative. On the side, Dai Tru couldn't help but feel bad for Tiu Hak. Meanwhile, Tran Lak's thoughts drifted to Ma Nok. He really wished she could take care of his daily needs. Damn, I really am a capitalist, he thought. He recalled that there was a 5-star hotel nearby. Ma Nok had been staying there. After reaching level 3, he decided he'd go find her. That night, as he lay in bed, he continued his training. Before long, he felt something stir in his mind. Grabbing his head, he grinned with satisfaction. In my past life, it took me half a month to reach level 3. But now, just 3 days. He continued absorbing the energy crystals in his hands. At this level, he could extend his void sword duration from 5 seconds to 20 seconds. It wasn't much, but it was enough for combat. Stretching, he decided to rest for the night. Tomorrow morning, he would set out to find Ma Nok. The next day, at an abandoned hotel, there's a staff dormitory over there. Dai Tru said from behind him. Let's clear out the remaining zombies first. Then head over. While fighting off the zombies, a man suddenly crawled toward them, begging for help. His name was Lu Van Bak, a hotel employee. Tran Lak was surprised. After half an hour of fighting zombies, they actually found a living person. He turned to him and asked, "Do you know Ma Nok?" Yes, I do. Lu Van Bak responded immediately. Which room is she in? He pointed to a room across the hall. She was staying there, but she's not here now. On the day of the outbreak, she left for a conference. Hearing this, Tran Lak grabbed his collar. Take me there. I'll give you supplies in return. Meanwhile, Ma Nok was hiding with a group of survivors, including the hotel manager and a rising star named Lam Ynhi. Lam Ynhi shoved Ma Nok aside. Stay away from me, there's barely enough space here. Ma Nok could only endure in silence. But Lam Ynhi grew even more aggressive. She grabbed Ma Nok by the hair and sneered. Do you even know who I am? As they struggled, a businessman, the supposed leader of the group, spoke up. I think we have enough food to last us, he said, but if she refuses to listen, we should just throw her out. Shockingly, the hotel manager agreed. Ma Nok, there's no more space here. You should find somewhere else. Hearing this, Lam Ynhi smirked in satisfaction. Even in the apocalypse, the manager still put on a righteous act. For the greater good, he said, please leave and find another place. What a bunch of scumbags. They were actually planning to throw Ma Nok to the zombies. Lam Ynhi kicked her toward the exit. This is what you get for standing against me. Outside, a group of zombies caught sight of her and began charging forward. Ma Nok was furious, but she was powerless to do anything. She clenched her fists. If only someone could kill these bastards for me, I'd pay any price. But before she could finish that thought, she saw something unexpected. 2 zombies lunged at her. She shut her eyes, bracing for death. But instead, a foot came out of nowhere and sent the zombies flying. A familiar voice called out. Ma Nok. Tran Lak approached her. Are you hurt? He asked. Internally, he thought, finally, I found a chef. I need her to cook for me. Seeing him, Ma Nok was overjoyed. Tran Lak, thank you so much. But before she could say anything else, he covered her mouth. Shush, let us take care of the zombies first. Then we'll get you out of here. Tran Lak and Dai Tru fought together, eliminating the approaching zombies. Seeing this, the hotel manager and Lam Ynhi were overjoyed, thinking that someone had come to rescue them. As the last zombie fell, Lam Ynhi immediately ran forward. Thank you, heroes, for saving us. I'm Lam Ynhi. It's a pleasure to meet you both. This woman was truly delusional. She even imagined that these 2 might be her fans. Ignoring her completely, Tran Lak turned to Ma Nok. Do you need me to stand up for you? Ma Nok, feeling wronged, said, well, it's my own fault too. I tried to save them, and they repaid me by kicking me out. Tran Lak nodded. That's why being a good person is so difficult. The businessman suddenly spoke up. If you take me home and work for me, I'll pay you 200 yuan a month. Hearing this, Dai Tru scoffed and waved his hand dismissively. So what if you have money? I despise people like you, repaying kindness with betrayal. A hotel staff member who had been watching shivered in fear. He never expected Tran Lak and Dai Tru to slap a businessman so hard that he nearly lost his teeth. Yet, the businessman still raised his voice. I admit I was wrong for treating your friend that way. But if you take me back to the safe zone, I'll give you whatever you want. Tran Lak turned around and said coldly. Too bad. I have one rule. If you're my enemy, you must die. Activating his dimensional ability, he continued, since you've offended my chef? He smirked. I'll tie you all up. Whether you live or die is up to fate. The businessman panicked. What you're doing is no different from murder. Lam Ynhi still refused to give up. She struggled toward Tran Lak, pleading desperately. Save me. Just me, please. Then she even tried to seduce him. I'll do whatever you want, Tilda. Tran Lak simply replied, "Get lost. I don't deal with filth like you." Even while being tied up, she still muttered, "I haven't showered in days, of course I'm a little dirty. You can help me wash up if you want, Tilda." Without hesitation, Tran Lak stuffed a cloth into her mouth. "Let's go. Let them fend for themselves." As they were leaving, a young staff member hurried after them. "Big bro, can I come with you?" Tran Lak turned back. "What do you have to offer?" The guy hesitated, trying to think of something. Before he could answer, Tran Lak picked up a wooden staff and handed it to him. "Kill 10 zombies, and you can join us." Of course, the guy didn't dare. I can't." Tran Lak shook his head. "I gave you a chance. Too bad you didn't take it." After rescuing Ma Nok from the zombies and those ungrateful people, Tran Lak, despite refusing to let the young man join his team, still decided to help him. He raised his hand, giving the guide 3 minutes to gather whatever supplies he could find. After that, Tran Lak would escort him back to the dormitory as a token of gratitude. At the same time, Tran Lak persuaded Ma Nok to become their cook. Turning to her, he reassured, "I'll provide everything you need, so you don't have to worry about anything." Hearing this, Ma Nok immediately agreed. In a world like this, who wouldn't accept such an offer? Tran Lak was pleased to have her on board. Once the young man finished gathering supplies, they would head back to the villa together. "There's plenty of food at my place," Tran Lak said, "but only you can turn it into something delicious." Seeing the abundance of ingredients, Ma Nok was thrilled. A while later, they arrived at the villa. Tran Lak asked her, "Have you awakened any abilities yet?" In this post-apocalyptic world, some people had developed supernatural powers to fight against the zombies. Ma Nok hesitated. "I've been too hungry to notice." "Then try following my instructions and see if you've awakened anything," Tran Lak suggested. She closed her eyes and focused. As he instructed, within seconds, a small flame appeared in her palm. Both of them were shocked. She had awakened a fire ability. Tran Lak smirked. "If it's fire, then this is just perfect. She could cook in any situation, and the food would likely taste even better." An hour and a half later, the dining table was filled with delicious dishes. Tran Lak and Dai Tru couldn't hide their excitement. In the apocalypse, they had been surviving on canned food or poorly prepared meals. No matter how hard they tried, nothing could compare to Ma Nok's cooking. The two of them and Tiu Hak ate happily while showering her with praise. "This tofu is amazing. This braised meat is perfect." Even Tiu Hak barked in agreement. After the meal, Ma Nok started cleaning up, but Tran Lak told her to focus on organizing her room instead. He pointed to the room next door and said, "If you need anything, just let me know, and I'll get it for you." Before leaving, he reminded her, "Washing dishes is fine, but don't let any water get into your mouth." Knowing how important communication was, Tran Lak handed her a new phone. "If you ever get bored, you can use this. We'll be staying inside for the next few days to focus on training and leveling up our abilities." A few days later, Tran Lak had fully developed his level 3 ability. At this pace, it wouldn't be long before he regained the dominance he once had in his past life. Even while brushing his teeth, he was thinking about the sisters, Mi Lin and Lilap. If they joined the team, there would be no worries in battle. He knew now wasn't the right time, but he still had to find them soon. If he delayed any longer, someone else might recruit them first. After all, one had been a king-tier fighter in the previous life, and the other had powerful healing abilities. Losing such a valuable duo would be a huge mistake. Now, Tran Lak and Dai Tru set out to search for more energy crystals. Ma Nok, no matter what happens, don't open the door. Even if someone is dying right in front of you, do not open it, Tran Lak instructed. He handed her a staff and added, "Don't even peek outside. Keep the doors locked at all times." Understanding the danger, Ma Nok nodded firmly. "Got it, don't worry." An hour later, somewhere in the city, Tran Lak and Dai Tru were fighting zombies. They were getting exhausted, but they had collected nearly 500 crystals. "Hell yeah, we're loaded now." Tran Lak grinned. "I remember those sisters lived just up ahead." Dai Tru, take the supplies back to the car and rest. I'll take Tiu Hak and check it out. Not long after, Tran Lak arrived at a high-rise building. He recalled that they lived in room 201. Tiu Hak, sniff around and see if they're still there. Tran Lak ordered. "Yes, master," Tiu Hak replied, sniffing the air carefully. Suddenly, Tiu Hak growled and leapt forward. "What the? Oh, it's just a cat." It seemed that Tiu Hak, after being alone for so long, was thinking about making a move on the cat. Tran Lak raised an eyebrow. Could this be their pet? Tiu Hak grabbed the cat, thinking to himself, bringing this thing back as a pet wouldn't be bad. Huh? Tran Lak saw Tiu Hak acting aggressively and quickly rushed over to stop him. "Tiu Hak, don't hurt it." The kitten, terrified, shouted in its mind, "You crazy dog." Hearing the cat's inner voice, Tran Lak was taken aback. No way, this cat has awakened its spiritual awareness. He folded his arms and sighed. "Tiu Hak, how could you be so rude to a lady?" Lifting the kitten gently, Tran Lak said, "You had to be gentle with girls. You know?" Tiu Hak scoffed internally. Fine, everything's my fault, okay? using his own spiritual sense. Tran Lak communicated with the cat. The kitten grumbled, "That guy is so annoying." Tran Lak chuckled, "Yeah, super annoying." Just a second later, the kitten suddenly sniffed the air, eyes lighting up. "Wait a minute, you ate fish, didn't you?" Tran Lak was startled. How does it know? Instinct? Regardless, he saw this as an opportunity to win over the awakened kitten. At that moment, a voice from above shouted, "Put down my comm." Tran Lak looked up, startled. "Holy crap, it's me Lap, the very person I've been looking for." He glanced at the cat in confusion. "Wait, she calls it comm. In his past life, she never had a cat." Milap stormed down, yelling again. "I said, put down my comm." Ignoring Tran Lak completely, she rushed over and snatched the kitten from his arms. "Comm, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention and let that guy grab you." Tran Lak noticed she was alone. It seemed she and her sister weren't together. "Well, I can't just leave her here by herself." The kitten suddenly wriggled violently. It had just realized something important. This guy has delicious fish. He's not a bad person. Within seconds, it broke free from Milap's grasp and ran straight to Tran Lak. Milap stood frozen. What the hell? The kitten looked up at Tran Lak with determined eyes. "I haven't had fish in a week," it cried. Tran Lak was speechless, but he knew this was his chance to recruit Milap. Scooping up the kitten, he smirked. "You want fish? Then let's go to the supermarket. I'm sure there's plenty there." Then he turned to Milap. "Why don't we team up to gather supplies?" She hesitated for a moment. The kitten spoke to her telepathically. "I can sense he doesn't have bad intentions." Milap felt conflicted. After all, Tran Lak was just a stranger. Comm scoffed. "Fine, you stay home. I'll go with him. Just like before, I'll bring food back for you." Milap's face turned red. No, I'm coming too," she said quickly. "Just give me a second to grab my things." A moment later, she returned, fully geared up. Tran Lak nearly burst out laughing. Damn, she really came prepared. Dai Tru arrived but said nothing. Tran Lak introduced him to Milap to put her at ease. "We're all in the same boat now, so you don't have to worry." Milap was surprised when she saw Tiu Hak shoot out a bolt of electricity. "So it's not just Calm with special abilities." Tran Lak nodded. "I'm Tran Lak. My ability is spatial manipulation, like a mage. What about you? You already know Calm can communicate with humans." She replied. "As for me, I'm Milap. My ability is similar to a healer's." As they talked, a horde of zombies suddenly charged toward them. "Step aside. We'll handle this," Tran Lak ordered, but Milap shook her head. "I can boost your strength." She immediately activated her ability, enhancing their power and restoring their stamina. Tran Lak's body felt lighter, filled with overwhelming energy. Whoa, this power boost is insane. Just as he marveled at it, a zombie broke past him, lunging straight for Milap. Tran Lak's eyes widened. Of course, it goes for the healer first. "Watch out," he shouted, but Milap clenched her fists. "I've never fought a zombie before," she admitted. "Might as well use this one for practice. I'll have to fight eventually." Tran Lak stared at her. "She looks fragile on the outside, but she has a strong spirit. There's no way I'm letting her go now." After finishing off the zombie, Tran Lak had Dai Tru hand her a staff. She gripped it tightly, gazing at the undead. "I have to be strong. I can't be afraid." Just as another zombie reached for her, she took action. Wham! She smashed it right on the head. Then she swung again, straight across its face. It was already dead, but she didn't stop. Whack, whack, whack. Even Tran Lak took a step back. Mental note: don't piss her off. When she finally stopped, she ran to the side and threw up. Tran Lak stood beside her, smiling as he praised. "That was a great hit. Keep it up." He handed her a bottle of water and spoke gently. "You must be thirsty. Have a drink." Seeing how kind Tran Lak was, Milap felt touched. She took the bottle and thanked him. Meanwhile, the little cat watching from the side seemed annoyed. "Are we going to the supermarket to find fish, or are you two just flirting here?" At that moment, they were on the second floor of a shopping mall, having already taken down quite a few zombies. Tran Lak handed Milap a bag. "Go grab whatever supplies you can. Take as much as possible." The cat, of course, didn't forget to remind him. "Don't forget to get me some fish." Looking at the cat, Tran Lak thought, even if it has awakened its spiritual awareness, how is it this sharp-witted already? Still, the way it spoke so fluently intrigued him. He picked up a piece of fish, thinking, a rare cat like this, it'd be a waste not to keep it. "Go ahead, eat up, it's fresh fish," he coaxed. Then, with a sly smile, he added, "Stick with me, and I'll even get you some grilled fish later." Hearing that, the cat was instantly delighted. Meanwhile, Milap was happily gathering supplies, unaware that a zombie was slowly creeping up behind her. Tiu Hak immediately barked in warning. Hearing the bark, Milap turned around, confused. Where the hell did this fat-ass zombie come from? She instinctively backed up to get a clearer look, but in her panic, she tripped and fell, right in front of the massive zombie. The grotesque creature groaned. "I'm hungry, let me eat you." Terrified, Milap hurled her staff at its face. Get lost, Seizing the moment, she scrambled to her feet and ran. But just as she took off, she slammed straight into something solid. It was Tran Lak. Seeing the massive zombie, he was taken aback. A breakthrough-type zombie? No way. This thing looks just like the devourers from my past life. He recalled how terrifying their strength and defense were, capable of using shockwaves and even self-detonation. Stepping in front of Milap, Tran Lak analyzed the creature. Judging by its aura, this one's a third-tier breakthrough type. Taking it down won't be easy. Milap trembled behind him, watching as Tran Lak prepared to unleash his power. A glowing energy formed in his palm, the same energy as the divine annihilation technique. Seizing the opportunity, Tiu Hak launched a sudden attack while the zombie was distracted. At the same time, Tran Lak summoned a phantom sword and charge. Die, you rotten pig! In a split second, the zombie was sliced clean in half. Tran Lak turned to Milap and reassured her. It's over. Don't look, it's too disgusting. Milap stared at him in awe. One strike, he took down such a massive zombie in one hit? So cool. Tran Lak grabbed her hand. Let's go, I'll take you to my place. Not long after, he told her, alright, you can open your eyes now. We're here. She opened them and was instantly struck by how handsome he looked. Why didn't I notice before? Tran Lak caught her staring in a daze and was a bit confused. Milap, feeling embarrassed, quickly turned away. Meanwhile, Tran Lak thought to himself, what's with her reaction? Still, he couldn't deny that this special zombie had made it easier to get her on his side. He patted her head lightly. The hero saving the beauty might be a cliché, but it always works. Milap, why don't you join our team? He asked. It'll be easier to handle any situation together. Besides, they had gathered plenty of supplies. Why not enjoy a proper dinner? But Milap hesitated, worried about her sister. If my sister comes home and I'm not there, she'll be really worried. She explained, can I wait for her first? The little cat immediately chimed in. Don't turn him down, please, just go with Tran Lak. You already wrote her a note, didn't you? And besides, he has grilled fish and delicious food. Milap felt helpless. Even her own cat was against her. She turned to Tran Lak. Is your place far from here? Tran Lak chuckled. Not at all. As soon as they arrived, a table full of food was already waiting. Milap was shocked. Hey, it's my first time here. But you didn't have to go all out like this. The cat, drooling at the sight, was already on the verge of tears. Tran Lak smiled at her. Don't worry about it, we're family now, eat as much as you like. With that, both the cat and Milap dug into the golden carp, their eyes tearing up from sheer happiness. This fish is even more delicious than they imagined. After finishing the meal, Milap expressed her gratitude but said she had to return home. She was worried that her sister would be concerned about her. Tran Lak replied, it's already late, going back alone would be too dangerous. Then, he added, actually, if we all moved there, it wouldn't be a problem. I wonder how far Maou died true, and Tiu Hak have gotten with their preparations. Hearing this, Milap was overjoyed. She hadn't expected that Tran Lak and the others would agree to live with her. Alright, it's decided then, I'll get everything ready for the move. Tran Lak said, died true, Maou, Tiu Hak, let's move to our new home together. Before long, they arrived at Milap's house. Suddenly, Milap suggested, why don't you all just stay at my place? There are 4 rooms, enough for everyone. Seeing this as a great opportunity to protect everyone, Tran Lak immediately agreed. This way, they would all feel safer. After entering the house, Tran Lak cut open a watermelon and invited everyone to have some to cool off. Seeing how kind he was, Milap couldn't hold back her emotions. The outside world is so dangerous, yet he always protects me. And now, he's even giving me my favorite fruit. Without thinking, she suddenly jumped up and hugged him. Meeting you has been the luckiest thing that ever happened to my sister and me. Tran Lak chuckled to himself. Well, my charm is just too much, nothing I can do about it. But then, he spoke seriously. From now on, we're all friends. Helping each other is only natural. So there's no need to be so formal. A moment later, his thoughts took a mischievous turn. Too bad I didn't meet her earlier. But at least she doesn't know I have a bit of a sharp tongue. Hee hee. Tran Lak turned to Milap and teased. So, you're choosing to hug me first before eating? Priorities, huh? That made her blush with embarrassment. Then, he asked, which rooms will everyone be staying in tonight? Milap pointed. Maou, you can have this room. Died true, just add an extra bed over there. That's my sister's art room. And this room is my sister's, so you can stay here. Tran Lak. Hearing that, Tran Lak felt something was off. What if Mi Lin comes back? What am I supposed to do then? But he decided not to overthink it. Instead, he took out some crystals and handed them to Milap. Take these and practice your abilities. If you have any questions, just ask me. Then, he turned away. Go ahead and train, then get some rest. I'm going to my room now. As soon as he opened the door and stepped inside, he was shocked by what he saw. A certain little cat was lying on the bed, looking at him. Why did you take so long to get here? It meowed. The cat ran over and clung to Tran Lak's arm. Tonight, I'll sleep with you. Tomorrow, I'll sleep with Milap. Tran Lak picked up the cat and smirked. You really are a sly little thing. Huh? Always knowing how to butter people up. Alright then, let's do some ability training together tonight. The cat meowed in agreement. The next morning, a zombie was burning in flames. Shrieking in agony. Two young men standing in front of it spoke in unison. Mi Lin, we don't dare charge in. Why don't you go first? These two were Trong Chan and Vong Tan Vu, Mi Lin's classmates. And the red-haired girl standing before them? Of course, that was Mi Lin, the wielder of blazing flames. She sighed. These two are such a burden. If you're scared, just stay behind me instead of acting tough. The two guys quickly hid behind Mi Lin. The zombies are charging, they shouted. With a determined expression, Mi Lin threw a powerful punch. Boom! In an instant, a sea of fire engulfed the zombies. After finishing the fight, she couldn't help but sigh. Using my flames consumes way too much energy. Even at tier 2, fighting off so many zombies is exhausting. If even I struggle to survive, I have no idea how these two idiots are going to make it. Feeling safe again, the two guys stepped forward. Are all the zombies dead yet? Where should we go next? Mi Lin pointed ahead. We're heading that way. She was deeply worried about her sister at home. Even though she had left behind a bar of chocolate, that alone wasn't enough to last. Meanwhile, Tran Lak turned to Ma Nok. Can you make grilled food? I feel like eating something grilled tonight. Ma Nok replied. I might not be as good as my teacher, but I'm definitely better than street vendors. Tran Lak grinned. Then let's grill on the rooftop. Hearing the noise outside, Mi Lap ran out excitedly. Big sis, my sister's back. Tran Lak, standing behind her, had been waiting for this moment for a long time. Mi Lin, I've been waiting for you. The two sisters rushed toward each other and hugged tightly. Overwhelmed with happiness. Grateful that they had both survived. Tran Lak observed the scene and couldn't help but sigh. These two sisters really have a strong bond. But then, his attention shifted to the two young men standing next to Mi Lin. Where the hell did these two come from? Meanwhile, the two guys were also eyeing Mi Lap, thinking to themselves, her older sister is the school beauty. And she's not far behind. If we can get close to them, life's gonna be sweet. However, when they noticed Tran Lak, they were puzzled. Who the hell is this guy? Mi Lin, concerned for her sister, asked. Mi Lap, who is he? Mi Lap immediately replied. He's the one who saved my life. His name is Tran Lak. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have made it this far. Mi Lin took a closer look at her sister, noticing how well she seemed. Looks like this Tran Lak guy has been taking good care of her. Meanwhile, the two classmates, realizing that Mi Lin was too difficult to approach, decided to change targets to Mi Lap instead. One of them suddenly pulled out a loaf of bread and said, Hey, Mi Lap, I've got some bread for you. Go ahead and eat it. Not wanting to be outdone, the other one added, Mine's even better. Try this one. Mi Lap, overwhelmed by their sudden attention, felt a little uneasy. Tran Lak, standing to the side, looked at them with pure disdain. Then he said, Let's head upstairs. Mi Lap quickly nodded. Yeah, we really should. It's not safe here. Mi Lin sighed to herself. I was stupid to bring these two along. I can't let them keep bothering my sister. Meanwhile, the two guys were thinking, our new life with the school beauty is just beginning. If we stay close, love will naturally bloom, right? As they entered the house, Mi Lin asked, Do we still have food? Tran Lak smirked. Of course, but only if you join my team. Hee. Instead of answering directly, he turned to Ma Nok and said, Cook some extra rice. After all, she's Mi Lap's sister. Even if we can't recruit her, at least let's give her a meal. Ma Nok looked confused. Weren't we supposed to have grilled food? Why the sudden change? But when he noticed the two newcomers trailing behind, he immediately understood Tran Lak's reasoning. The two guys spotted the kitchen and were surprised. Damn, they actually have water for cooking? Without hesitation, they rushed over and grabbed the water jug. Ignoring everyone else, they chugged it down greedily. Hey, save some for me, one of them shouted, snatching the jug from the other. Ma Nok, disgusted by their behavior, scolded them. Can't you at least pour it into cups like normal people? One of them shot back. Do you even know how much we suffered on the road? Drinking a little water. What's the big deal? Tran Lak watched the scene unfold and immediately knew. Yeah, these two clowns gotta go. At that moment, the two idiots were still fantasizing. Living under the same roof as the school beauty, this is gonna be amazing. Too bad there's another guy here, though. Then, one of them nudged the other and pointed. Tan Vu, look over there. They both saw Tiu Hak lounging lazily nearby. Holy crap, a dog that hasn't been infected? Greedy thoughts filled their heads. Tonight's dinner is settled. They rushed over to Tran Lak. In times like these, resources are scarce. Why are you wasting food on a dog? Tiu Hak immediately sensed their bad intentions and bared its fangs. One of them feigned concern. What if this thing turns on Mi Lin or Mi Lap? Wouldn't it be dangerous? We should just cook it and have a proper meal. Tran Lak stepped forward, his voice ice cold. I have enough food to feed it. But you two? Get the hell out. Still, they refused to back down. Watch your mouth, punk. Have you even fought zombies before? Tran Lak scoffed. Why would I bother fighting them when I can just wipe out idiots like you? The two morons turned to each other and sneered. See, he hasn't fought any, so he's just a useless idiot. Huh? Then, they turned back to Mi Lin. Mi Lin, we followed you through countless dangers to get here. And this guy is just wasting resources. Isn't that ridiculous? Tan Vu added. That's right, we need to cook the dog. If not, we'll starve. Hearing this, Mi Lin's patience snapped. You two following me has been nothing but a burden. Do you think I don't know what disgusting thoughts you've been having? She crossed her arms and declared. From now on, everyone eats what they earn. No more freeloading. If you don't work, you don't eat. Now get lost. They were stunned but quickly got defensive. You're seriously kicking us out? After everything we did for you? Mi Lin's expression darkened. All you did was slow me down and make me babysit you. Get out of here, now. Finally, their true colors showed. Wow, I can't believe you're this heartless. We risked our lives for you. Mi Lin smirked. This is who I am. Now get lost, you scumbags. Furious, they shouted. Fine, we'll leave, but don't think this is over. As they stormed out, Tran Lak patted Tiu Hak's head and chuckled. Make sure those trash bags die far away from here. Cleaning up their corpses would be such a hassle. Mi Lin, watching Tiu Hak run after them, started to worry. Wait, why are you going after them? Don't throw yourself at those idiots. Outside, the two were still cursing under their breath. We can't let those sisters get away with this. Tiu Hak, hearing that, grinned menacingly. Alright, time to send you two morons to hell. The two men heard the barking and turned around. Haha, looks like the dog meat came running straight to us. Let's take it down now. But they never got the chance. Tiu Hak had already unleashed an electric shock, catching them completely off guard before they could react. Moments later, the dog casually trotted back while the two men were left writhing in pain. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mi Lab gently reminded her sister. Take your time eating, there's plenty of rice left. Mi Lin turned to Tran Lak and said, I ate quite a lot of your food. But don't worry, I'll make up for it by finding more supplies for everyone. Tran Lak simply replied, Oh, you're done eating? Then I guess it's our turn now. Mi Lin, a bit concerned, asked, Wait, did I eat so much that there's nothing left for you guys? But just a second later, she was stunned to see Tran Lak casually sitting to the side, listing all the grilled dishes he wanted to eat. Her shock was immeasurable. After listing all the dishes he wanted, Tran Lak heard Ma Nok say, I can make them right now. No problem, but it'll take time, at least an hour. Upon hearing that, Tran Lak immediately called Mi Lap. Come on, let's go, I need to talk to you in private. Mi Lin glanced at her sister, feeling suspicious. What exactly were they doing? Why were they going into a room together? Did that guy, Tran Lak, intend to do something to her little sister? Inside the room, Tran Lak pushed Mi Lap against the wall and said, Mi Lap, ever since you started following me, you haven't had to worry about food or water, have you? Mi Lap nodded. That's right. Tran Lak leaned in closer. And being with me is safe, isn't it? You haven't felt scared at all, have you? With him getting so close, Mi Lap started feeling flustered. Tran Lak continued, That's because you're obedient and capable. But what about your sister? Do you think she'll listen to me? Mi Lap thought about her sister's personality and figured there was no way Mi Lin would take orders from a stranger like Tran Lak. He then asked, Between me and your sister, who do you think is better suited to lead everyone in this fight for survival? Of course, it's you, Tran Lak. If that's the case, then we need to make sure your sister. Before he could finish, Mi Lap interrupted. Make sure of what? Tran Lak realized that directly saying he needed to train her to obey him would sound too blunt. So, he cleared his throat and said, We need to make sure she follows my lead and sees me as the team leader. Otherwise, surviving in this world will be much harder. Until she starts listening to me, I won't share any supplies with her. That means, for now, she only gets food, nothing else. Mi Lap understood what he meant. Tran Lak patted her shoulder with a smile and said, Once she follows my lead, she'll have access to supplies. We're doing this for her own good. This is for my sister's sake. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, an impressive feast was being prepared. Seeing the large amount of food, Mi Lin commented, Why are you making so much? We won't be able to finish all of it. Just cooking a few dishes is enough. Ma Nok simply replied, Tran Lak said to cook this much. So we cook this much. He decides everything. Realizing this, Mi Lin had no choice but to go find Tran Lak. In her mind, food shouldn't be wasted in an apocalypse. Tran Lak, tell them not to cook so much. If we finish all our food today, what are we supposed to eat tomorrow? I know Mi Lap is happy to be back. And of course, we should celebrate, but this is just too wasteful. Tran Lak simply raised his hand and said, This is my food, I'll do whatever I want with it. Hearing that, Mi Lin suddenly felt guilty for having eaten their rice earlier. But even so, this amount of food was excessive, it would definitely go to waste. But damn, it smelled amazing. An hour later, the feast was ready. As she approached the table, she noticed something odd. There were 5 people, but only 4 bottles of water. Did they forget one? Thinking this, she decided she wouldn't drink water. She could just eat the food and have some soup instead. Ma Nok poured a bowl of soup and announced, Alright, let's eat. As Mi Lin sat at the table, Tran Lak immediately spoke up. Why are you sitting here? Confused, Mi Lin replied. I mean, does it matter where I sit? Mi Lap, sitting beside her, felt guilty and whispered. Sorry, sis. Tran Lak is a good person. I hope you'll listen to him. Tran Lak smirked. We're about to eat. You sitting there doesn't really make sense. But if you want to just watch us eat, then be my guest. Mi Lin's expression darkened. What? I don't get a share? Didn't you say we were celebrating my reunion with Mi Lap? Tran Lak chuckled. I did say that, but I never said you'd be eating with us. Look around, everyone here is my people. Only my people get to eat the food I risk my life to bring back. He turned to Mi Lap. Mi Lap, are you one of my people? Without hesitation, Mi Lap answered, yes. He then turned to Dai Tru and Ma Nok. And what about you two? They responded in unison. We're with Tran Lak. If it weren't for him saving us, we would have met our ancestors by now. Even the dog and cat joined in, barking and meowing as if to say they were also Tran Lak's pets. Tran Lak chuckled. You hear that? Everyone at this table follows me. That's why I'm willing to share everything with them. Then he turned to Mi Lin. And you? You're not one of my people. So you have no right to eat. Unless, you're willing to listen to me. Call me An Tran Lak, and then you can have some food. Mi Lin's face turned red with anger. All this over one meal? You dare humiliate me like this? She slammed her hand on the table. Don't push people too far. She turned on her heels and walked away. Listen up, Tran Lak. Going without one meal won't kill me. You think this is a big deal? This is just some petty mind game. Meanwhile, Mi Lap was happily eating. Kai Nok, this royal chicken drumstick is amazing. Mi Lap, try some spicy grilled shrimp too. Thanks, An Tran Lak. Hearing that made Mi Lin even more furious. This is the ocean fish you love the most. Eat up. Even though she was angry, she had no choice but to return to her room. With nothing else to do, she decided to sleep, but as soon as she opened the door, her eyes widened in shock. What the hell is this? There was a pair of men's underwear lying on her bed. Mi Lap, what the hell did you do? You let some filthy guy stay in my room? Mi Lap walked over and scratched her head. Oh, I forgot to tell you. An Tran Lak has been staying here for a few days now. But don't worry, he's a really good person. Mi Lin gritted her teeth but held back. After all, Tran Lak had taken care of her sister. Oh, right, An Tran Lak also said it's fine to take a bath. Just don't let the water get in your mouth. Got it, now go back and finish your meal. As she undressed and stepped into the shower, she couldn't help but sigh. Why do I feel like such an outsider? She clenched her jaw. Did that brat really sell me out just for food? She continued washing up, thinking to herself, but really, how much can one little fridge store? Anyway, Tran Lak, we'll see who has the last laugh. Just as she finished bathing, she overheard them talking outside. Let's have some grapes for dessert. Grapes? That was Mi Lin's favorite fruit. She swallowed hard. Out of all the fruit, why did they have to pick grapes? No, she told herself, I don't care. It's been days since the apocalypse started. Those grapes are probably frozen and tasteless by now. Still, she cracked open her door and called her sister into the room. Tran Lak smirked, as expected of a beauty. That face, that figure, who wouldn't be tempted? He picked up a bunch of grapes. Mi Lap, hurry back and eat. I saved a bunch for you. Mi Lin shot him a glare. She was sure he was doing this on purpose to provoke her. As soon as Mi Lap entered the room, Mi Lin pushed her onto the bed. You little brat, you actually let a stranger into my room just to mess with me? She tickled Mi Lap. Spit it out. What exactly are you trying to do? Mi Lap laughed, struggling to breathe. We made a deal. We're all teammates now, and everyone sees An Tran Lak as the leader who'll guide us in the apocalypse. She caught her breath and continued. An Tran Lak was just worried you wouldn't listen, so he had to do this. He explained it to me before. And honestly, it makes sense. Mi Lin narrowed her eyes. You've been brainwashed, haven't you? Look, if he proves he's capable, I'll naturally listen, but using such cheap tricks? Does he really think one meal is enough to make me submit? Mi Lap hesitated. Then, what do you plan to do? We can't just keep fighting zombies forever. Mi Lin scoffed. If he wants me to follow him, he should prove himself first. I'll challenge him and see who comes out on top. With that, she threw on her clothes and stormed out. Where are you going? I'm going to find my own food. I'm not eating his. Mi Lap panicked. It's already dark outside. It's too dangerous. She turned to Tran Lak. An Tran Lak, my sister is about to go out searching for food. Please stop her. Tran Lak chuckled and said. Sorry, Mi Lap, I have no right to stop her from going anywhere. But if you're worried, he pointed at the little cat. Tell her to take Kama along. At least it can warn her if something happens. However, the little cat looked completely unwilling. Then, Tran Lak instructed Tiu Hak to follow secretly and protect Mi Lin from the shadows. Tiu Hak groaned in frustration. It's so hot, and now I have to babysit her? Seeing this, Mi Lap also wanted to go with her sister to help. Tran Lak agreed, of course, but be careful and take an electric baton with you. As he watched Mi Lin leave, he smirked. Mi Lin, honestly, I don't even need to use these tricks to deal with you. But still, in his past life, Mi Lin had often beaten him up for stealing food. Once, she even kicked his butt. leaving him no choice but to take revenge in this life. Mi Lin, I don't think this payback is too much. Right? But I have to admit, you're quite strong. I need to make you submit as soon as possible. 10 minutes later, Mi Lin found a pack of instant noodles. Hey, looks like I'll have something to eat tonight. It's not as good as someone's cooking, but it'll do. Tran Lak saw her from a distance and chuckled. If someone didn't know better, they'd think she just found premium beef noodles. But is there really any beef in that pack? He turned to the kitchen. Kai Nok, I feel like eating beef noodles again. Let's cook some. He glanced at Mi Lin and smirked. Tonight, I'll let you taste what real beef noodles are like. Mi Lin glared at him. Oh, don't look at me like I'm your enemy. Come over here, let's talk. Fine, she said, crossing her arms. I'd like to hear what nonsense you have to say. I admit, what I did at lunch was wrong. I should apologize to you. Mi Lin raised an eyebrow. You're not up to something, are you? If you have something to say, just say it, don't act fake. I'm serious, I was wrong at lunch. But since you don't consider me your leader, I can't distribute resources to you. A leader must have both strength and strategy. I will prove to you that I can make you submit in every possible way. Let's start with strength. 3 days from now, we'll have a match. If I lose, I'll follow your orders from then on. Mi Lin's eyes lit up. Really? Of course. Good. But why wait 3 days? Why not fight today? Tran Lak grinned. I haven't fully controlled my abilities yet. I don't want to accidentally hurt you. In reality, he wanted to reach level 4 first. By then, his power control would be much better. Right now, she wasn't even a match for Tu Hak, let alone him. Huh, are you saying I can't even beat a dog? Tran Lak shrugged. Fine, if you can defeat Tu Hak, then we'll talk. Why do I feel like he's mocking me? Mi Lin thought. As they talked, Tu Hak suddenly became aggressive. Outside, a weak voice called out. Mi Lin, Mi Lap, are you in there? Mi Lin, I saw you return. Please, could you spare me some food? I haven't eaten in 2 days. Mi Lin opened the door and said coldly. You haven't eaten in 2 days? So that means you ate something 2 days ago, right? Hearing her reply, Tran Lak was impressed. Damn, she's ruthless and straightforward. From inside, Mi Lin said, we don't have food to spare. Leave. She turned to Mi Lap. Remember, no matter how much we give her, she'll eat it all in 1 day. Then she'll come back asking for more. We're struggling to survive too. We need to keep enough for ourselves. Tran Lak stood up and smirked. Mi Lin, your survival instincts are impressive. Save the flattery. 3 days from now, we'll see if you're really as strong as you claim to be. Just then, the little cat rubbed against Tran Lak's leg. That woman from earlier, she had bad intentions. Tran Lak picked up the cat. I know. His eyes darkened. No matter what she's planning, once she comes here, she won't leave alive. Meanwhile, outside, the woman stormed off, fuming. HMPH, that little brat is so heartless. She walked to a group of men. Are you sure Mi Lin is back? One of them asked. Absolutely. I just spoke to her. The woman confirmed. Mi Lap is home too. I even saw her go inside with 2 strange men. The men grinned wickedly. Good, those sisters are still alive. Hey, with bodies like that, it'd be worth it even if we die after 1 round. What a vile group of scumbags. They immediately grabbed their weapons and prepared to attack Mi Lin's house. But they had no idea what was about to happen to them. Meanwhile, Dai Tru spotted a group of suspicious men approaching. He immediately informed Tran Lak. There's a group of armed men heading this way. Tran Lak chuckled. Handle them. Just make sure they don't die right in front of the house. Cleaning up the bodies would be a hassle. Without hesitation, Mi Lap used her ability to enhance Dai Tru's strength. Chap 36-39. After Dai Tru went to take care of those idiots, Mi Lin stood to the side. Observing, she glanced at Tran Lak, realizing that he was actually quite handsome. At the same time, she was curious to see if a man and a dog could really be as formidable as he claimed. The two of them stood together, watching the scene below. Suddenly, loud barking echoed in the air. Hey, guys, come over here. Looks like we're about to have some dog meat for dinner. Ha ha ha. Taking advantage of their numbers, the thugs quickly surrounded Dai Tru. Tu Hak stepped forward, barking, Gao Gao, prepare to die. Seizing the moment when they were distracted, Dai Tru launched his attack. 2 men at the back hesitated, startled by his strength. Damn, this guy is a beast. Don't panic, if we all rush him at once, we can take him down. But Dai Tru stood firm, unfazed, no matter how hard they swung their clubs at him. It was completely ineffective. What the hell? Is this guy made of iron? He doesn't even flinch. It's gotta be an ability. Come on, don't we have powers too? Stop whining and fight. Meanwhile, Tu Hak positioned himself behind them, preparing his signature move. Pika Pika, 100.000 volts. One of the thugs scoffed. TCH, it's just a dog. You think you can scare me? But before he could finish, he was instantly stunned, both by Dai Tru's overwhelming strength and Tu Hak's powerful electric attack. On the balcony, Tran Lak raised an eyebrow, a bit surprised. Huh, I didn't expect Tu Hak to be smart enough to act as a distraction so Dai Tru could strike. Did he figure that out on his own? He turned to Mi Lap. Go collect the energy crystals from those 6 guys for me. Mi Lap's eyes widened. Me? Are you seriously making a beautiful girl like me do such a disgusting job? Tran Lak chuckled. You did great supporting us. But you should also get used to handling things yourself. In battle, hesitation can be deadly. Mi Lin nodded in agreement. You'll have to do this sooner or later. Might as well start now. But deep inside, she smirked. Consider this payback for messing with me during lunch. Tran Lak handed Mi Lap a dagger. I'll go with you. I'll teach you how to do it properly. As he walked downstairs, he told Dai Tru, no need to do anything else. Let Mi Lap handle it. Mi Lap whimpered, close to tears. At that moment, she deeply regretted teaming up with Tran Lak against her sister earlier. Now, both Tran Lak and Mi Lin were making her suffer. Desperate, she turned to Tiu Hak, silently pleading for help. Tiu Hak simply turned his head away and snorted. Nope, this ain't a dog's job. That being said, he still poked the thugs' heads with the dagger, assisting just a little. However, the moment Mi Lap actually did it herself, she instantly gagged and threw up. She had used too much force. After collecting the energy crystals, she handed them to Tran Lak. Tran Lak laughed. It's okay, you'll get used to it. Have some beef noodle soup later to recover. Right on cue, a steaming bowl of noodles, packed with beef and vegetables, appeared in front of them. Mi Lin stared at it, thinking, are they eating beef noodles? Or just straight up beef with a side of noodles? Is this even normal? Tran Lak handed the biggest bowl to Mi Lap. Eat up, you need to regain your strength after throwing up. Mi Lap pouted. Thanks, Tran Lak, but I don't think I can swallow anything right now. Meanwhile, Mi Lin was fuming. Not only had she lost her appetite from watching all this, but Tran Lak's smug attitude was infuriating. Sitting off to the side, she grumbled to herself. Why does the food smell so damn good? I want to eat too. No, I refuse. I won't eat with them anymore. She grabbed something random to eat but kept getting distracted by the mouth-watering aroma of their meal. Let's see how long they can keep this up. I know how small our fridge is. There's no way they have that much food left. However, by dinner time, she was utterly dumbfounded. How do they still have so much food left? Our fridge isn't that big. 2 meals should have emptied it by now. Unable to contain her curiosity any longer, she snuck over to check the fridge. The moment she opened it, she was completely stunned. The fridge was packed to the brim with fresh food and drinks. Her entire worldview shattered. She immediately stormed over to Tran Lak. Tran Lak, when the hell did you go out to gather supplies? How did I not notice? And how the hell did you find this much fresh food? At that moment, Mi Lap casually walked over and answered. Oh, sis, Tran Lak has a spatial ability. The food he has stored could probably last us a few years. Mi Lin froze. Nani? Realization hit her like a truck, and she turned to Mi Lap with an enraged expression. Why the hell didn't you tell me sooner? Mi Lap scratched her head and said. Sorry, sis, I forgot. Hee. Hearing that, Mi Lin couldn't help but smile. She turned to Tran Lak and made a bold declaration. In 2 days, we'll have a match. If you lose, you have to listen to everything I say. Don't worry, Tran Lak replied confidently. If I lose, I'll do whatever you ask. But honestly, we could fight as soon as tomorrow. Mi Lin smirked. Once he loses, I'll make him serve me food every day. Then I'll never have to worry about meals again. Hee. Meanwhile, Tran Lak continued training while deep in thought. Once I reach level 4, I'll be able to walk in midair. Not only will my defense improve, but my powers will also evolve significantly. The level 1 survivor crystals were becoming less effective for him. Since he needed stronger energy, he decided to absorb the crystal from the rat cane. The moment he did, a powerful surge of energy flooded his brain. Within seconds, an intense headache struck him like a hammer. Mio Khan, watching nearby, grew concerned. Is he okay? But it wasn't just a headache. Tran Lak's entire body ached, making it impossible for him to stay upright. It seemed he had truly broken through to level 4. After some time, his body finally stabilized. Holding the crystal in his hand, he let out a deep breath. I finally made it to level 4. He turned to Mio Khan with a grin. Hee, there's still more than half the energy left in this crystal. Be good and stay here. I'm heading out to test my new abilities. Meanwhile, Tiu Hak sensed something different about his master. The moment he saw the energy surrounding Tran Lak, his jaw dropped, and he started barking in shock. Tran Lak turned back and reassured him. Relax, it's me. But Tiu Hak was still trembling. Damn it, I protect this house for you. And you come back just to scare the life out of me? The noise woke up Mi Lin. She walked out, rubbing her eyes. Did you make Tiu Hak bark just to wake me up? She grumbled. Tiu Hak quickly defended himself. I was really scared, okay? Tran Lak ignored them and simply said. You're overestimating yourself. Go eat. After that, we'll have our match. Mi Lin hesitated. Wait, didn't you say we'd fight tomorrow? Why are you suddenly calling me out in the middle of the night? Before we start, let's confirm something, she added. If I win, you'll do whatever I say. Right? Of course. Tran Lak smirked. But you seem a little too confident. How about we make it more interesting? I'll defeat you within 3 seconds from a distance of 20 meters. If I fail, I lose automatically. How's that? Mi Lin scoffed. Tran Lak, I'll admit you're strong, but 3 seconds? That's just ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, Tran Lak said, smirking. I'm just very confident. MMH. The moment the fight starts, I'll just retreat and buy time. There's no way he can beat me in 3 seconds. And what exactly do I have to do if I lose? She asked. Tran Lak grinned mischievously. If I win, you just have to turn around and let me give you a little kick on the butt. Hee. Fine, then if you lose, I get to kick you too. If you win, you can kick me as many times as you want, or you can ask me for anything. But it won't matter, because there's no way I'm losing. Hee. The next morning, the two of them stood in the middle of the street, surrounded by onlookers, ready to duel. Alright, if there's nothing else, let's begin, Tran Lak said. There's no way he can beat me in 3 seconds. I won't let that happen, Mi Lin thought to herself. But just as she was strategizing, Tran Lak disappeared. Her eyes widened in shock. I was watching him the whole time. Where the hell did he go? Did he just turn invisible? Before she could react, Tran Lak reappeared behind her using a spatial portal. In an instant, he wrapped an arm around her neck. She struggled, but no matter how hard she fought, she couldn't break free. Leaning in close to her ear, he whispered, Iya, Mi Lin, looks like you've lost. Mi Lin froze. If he had used a knife instead of his hand just now, I'd probably be dead already. Realizing she had no choice, she sighed. I lost. So now what? Wait, does this mean I actually have to turn around and let him kick me? Lost in thought, she suddenly felt Tran Lak pat her on the back and say, let's have breakfast first. Mi Lin, you should join us. As they sat down, Tran Lak spoke. I was wrong about what happened 2 days ago. But from now on, we're comrades. We should get along better. Don't you think? Ma Nok brought over the food and said, don't be shy. If this isn't enough, there's plenty more. Mi Lin hesitated for a moment. Refusing now would be rude, wouldn't it? Without further thought, she began eating hungrily. This is delicious, she mumbled between bites. It would be a shame to waste food after someone put in the effort to prepare it. Tran Lak chuckled to himself. Hee. From today on, Mi Lin is officially one of us. A while later, he stood up. Alright, now that we're all full, let's move to the living room for a discussion. We need to plan our next steps. The group gathered in the living room and began strategizing. The apocalypse isn't just making humans stronger, the zombies are evolving too. If we want to survive, we have to stick together. But resources are becoming harder to find. If we keep scavenging alone, we'll eventually face serious danger. That's why we need to form a large team, one strong enough to last in the long run. Right now, we're powerful, but if we run into a group with 100 members, even if we win, we'll suffer heavy losses, and that's something I can't accept. Tran Lak's expression turned serious. I refuse to submit to anyone. I won't bow to anyone's authority. Besides, his gaze shifted toward Mi Lin and Mi Lap. You two are beautiful women. What if some scumbag tries to force you into something? What would you do then? Mi Lin immediately slammed her fist on the table. If any bastard dares, I'll beat him to a pulp. Tran Lak nodded. Exactly. That's why we won't be joining anyone else's team. And no one will dare mess with us. His voice carried a determined edge. We need to form our own group, a large one. Of course, we'll be selective. We're not taking in just anyone. Mi Lap thought for a moment before nodding. You're right, we should build our own team. Dai Tru agreed. I'll follow your lead. Tran Lak. The city is overrun with zombies. He continued, so most survivors will likely move to the outskirts. If I had to guess, they're already forming their own groups out there. Mi Lin glanced at Tran Lak with newfound respect. I didn't expect you to think so far ahead. But honestly, I was considering the same thing. Tran Lak smirked. Looks like she's finally acknowledging me. But there's still one more thing left to do. He couldn't help but think about his real reward, the long-awaited kick. I'm going to make sure this moment is perfect. Out of nowhere, he said, that's enough planning for now. Mi Lin, come with me to the room. I have something to discuss with you. She frowned. Why can't you just say it here? It's private, he replied. At that moment, Mi Lin's eyes widened in realization. Wait, don't tell me he's really going to kick me? Even though she suspected his intention, she had no choice but to go along with it. A promise was a promise. It's just one kick. No big deal, right? As soon as they entered the room, before Tran Lak could say anything, she turned around and stuck her butt out. Alright, just get it over with. Tran Lak scratched his head. Confused. Why are you sticking your butt out in front of me? Mi Lin blinked. Isn't that what you called me here for? Mi Lin clenched her fists. How much does this guy want to humiliate me? Frustrated, she snapped. Why do you even want to kick me as a reward? How about you pick a different punishment? As long as it's not too unreasonable. I'll do it. Tran Lak shook his head. Nope, a loss is a loss. Just say whether you're going to do it or not. Mi Lin gritted her teeth. Damn you, Tran Lak. Fine, she huffed. I keep my word. With that, she turned around again and raised her hips. Hurry up already. Tran Lak's hands trembled with excitement. I can't believe I'm actually doing this to the legendary flame goddess herself. This was a moment of pure joy, one he would never forget. Chap 40-45. After bending over, waiting for Tran Lak to kick her, Mi Lin noticed him taking off his shoes. Taking off his shoes? That must mean the kick will be lighter. He wouldn't have the heart to kick me too hard, right? But if he does, I swear I'll cry right in front of him. She turned back and asked, "Why are you taking off your shoes? I'm counting to 10. If you don't kick me by then, I won't stay like this anymore." Tran Lak, holding his shoes in his hands, looked at her counting and felt a bit puzzled, but he quickly brushed it off. A grudge is a grudge, I have to settle this. Mi Lin had already counted to 3. Tran Lak thought to himself, didn't I call her here for this exact reason? Right as the countdown was about to end, he made his move, smack. Instead of a kick, Tran Lak slapped her on the butt. Mi Lin's face immediately turned bright red. She spun around and glared at him. Why did you slap me? Weren't you supposed to kick me? Tran Lak scratched his head sheepishly. I forgot. How about I make it up to you with a kick? Her anger exploded. You bastard, I'll kill you. She lunged at him, grabbing his arm threateningly. If you dare tell anyone about this, I swear I'll pinch you to death. Tran Lak quickly raised his hands in surrender. Mercy, great warrior, I wouldn't dare, I'll just head out first. Before leaving, he added, for lunch, I'll have Ma Nok cook some of your favorite dishes to celebrate you joining our team. Mi Lin huffed. You better keep your mouth shut. But then, she suddenly hesitated. Wait, how does he know what I like to eat? Did Mi Lap tell him? A while later, the table was filled with a delicious feast. Looking at the food, Mi Lin thought, if it weren't for Tran Lak, I probably wouldn't get to eat meals like this anymore. She raised her glass and clinked it against his. Thank you for helping me and Mi Lap. Tran Lak waved her off casually. No need for thanks, we're a team. Then, his expression turned serious. I have something important to discuss. Staying here makes us an easy target. Tomorrow, we should check out my old villa. Everyone agreed, and they immediately began clearing out nearby zombies in preparation for the trip. It was also a good opportunity for Mi Lin and Mi Lap to train and improve their skills. As they strategized, a distant voice suddenly broke the silence. Fuang Ca. They turned to see a young man fighting off zombies, protecting a group of survivors behind him. Please, don't fight them, just run, one of the survivors pleaded. Tran Lak watched and sighed. In my past life, Dai Tru saved me in the same way. But these were venomous zombies. If the young man didn't abandon the 3 people he was protecting, he would be doomed. The moment he spotted Tran Lak approaching, the young man immediately called for help. Seeing his courage and loyalty, Tran Lak decided that saving him and recruiting him would be a good choice. Without hesitation, he gave the order. Tiu Hak, go. In an instant, Tiu Hak charged forward, unleashing a burst of electricity that instantly fried one of the zombies. The survivors gasped in shock. What the hell? That dog is insanely strong. Once the zombies were dealt with, the group hurried over to thank Tran Lak. Thank you for saving us. Tran Lak nodded and asked, have any of you awakened an ability yet? The man wearing a headband stepped forward. Yes, I have. My name is Fuang Vu. My power enhances my strength and physical endurance. He gestured toward his teammates. This guy here is Duong Huyan. He has ice abilities. That one is Li Fai. He can use electricity like your dog, but nowhere near as strong. And lastly, this is Tu Lan. He has earth manipulation powers. Fuang Vu continued, the 4 of us used to be security guards for the same company. We've been comrades for years. We went out today to gather supplies but got overwhelmed by the zombies. Tran Lak introduced himself in return. I'm Tran Lak. There's strength in numbers. How about we team up? Fuang Vu agreed without hesitation. If you're willing to have us, we're in. We owe you our lives. After officially recruiting them, Tran Lak invited them onto the truck. There's not much worth scavenging here. The only place that might still have supplies is the shopping mall. When they finally arrived at Tran Lak's old villa, he turned to Fuang Vu. Go inside and tidy up a bit. I'll catch up soon. As they walked in, Mi Lin commented, they're strong, and they don't abandon each other. Tran Lak nodded but gave a warning. That's true, but remember, this is still the apocalypse. Stay cautious. Dai Tru grinned. Don't worry, I get it. Tran Lak pulled out a bag of rice and handed it over. Mi Lin, Mi Lap, you two pick a room on the 3rd floor. Dai Tru, you and Ma Nok take the 2nd floor. Once everyone settled in, Tran Lak turned to Dai Tru. Come with me, let's check on the others. When they approached Fuang Vu's group, they overheard them talking. That dog, Tiu Hak, it's unbelievable. The 4 of us together probably wouldn't even stand a chance against it. Tran Lak cleared his throat. Ahem, do any of you know how to cook? He tossed them the bag of rice. Fuang Vu immediately shook his head. You already saved our lives. We can't possibly accept this. Keep it, we'll find our own food. Tran Lak smirked. Don't be so formal. You guys are part of my team now. A little rice is nothing. But in his mind, he thought, of course, once you're full-fledged members, then you'll get to eat meat too. Dai Tru, give them a walkie-talkie. As Mi Lin walked over, she questioned, Tran Lak, I get why you brought Dai Tru. But why am I here? Mi Lap is back there with strangers. What if something happens to her? Before she could say more, Tran Lak pushed her head down into a bush and whispered, "Shish, someone's coming." Sure enough, a car approached, and from it stepped a beautiful woman with white hair. The moment Tran Lak saw her, he recognized her immediately. It was Maou Xia. Damn, I completely forgot about her. Mi Lin, crouched beside him, had no idea what was going on. Tran Lak leaned in and explained, "She's the CEO of a fashion design company and also a designer herself." Then, he muttered to himself, "Too bad she's a complete lunatic." After the apocalypse, she had gathered her low-ranking employees and formed a base that only accepted women. It would have been a good thing, except for one rule: she strictly forbade her subordinates from falling in love. Anyone caught breaking that rule was severely punished. But who in this world doesn't have desires? To make matters worse, she was a total obsessive when it came to Mi Lin. It was said that in a previous life, she had sacrificed herself to save Mi Lin. Afterward, Mi Lin took her place and eventually allowed men to join the team. Looking at her now, Tran Lak figured she had come here with her subordinates in search of supplies. Looks like, thanks to my influence, Mi Lin and Maou Xia are going to meet earlier than expected. He glanced at Mi Lin and smirked. Well, it's not a bad thing for her to have someone so devoted to her. And now, she's technically my subordinate too. Hey, Mi Lin frowned. Why are you looking at me like that? Nothing, Tran Lak replied. Just. Before he could finish, a sharp voice rang out. Who's hiding over there? Tran Lak turned his head and recognized the woman speaking. It was Tu Van. A powerful ice ability user. Too bad she died too soon in my past life. At that moment, Maou Xia approached and greeted Mi Lin. Hello, I'm Maou Xia. May I ask what your name is? I'm Mi Lin. What brings you here? Maou Xia gestured toward her group. Our team is made up of women who protect each other in this apocalypse. You should join us. Tran Lak, standing nearby, nearly choked. What the hell? Trying to steal my people right in front of me? Do I not even exist to her? Mi Lin shook her head. Sorry, I already have my own team. Maou Xia's eyes narrowed slightly. She pointed at Tran Lak. Is he your boyfriend? Before Mi Lin could respond, Tran Lak immediately cut in. What does that have to do with you? Mi Lin, standing beside him, turned red as a tomato. Tran Lak turned away. Come on, Mi Lin, let's go. We need to stick to our schedule. There's cleanup work to do. As he walked off, Maou Xia watched them leave, her expression darkening. Men are all the same, greedy, lustful, and untrustworthy. I need to show Mi Lin his true colors. She turned to her subordinates. We're staying here tonight. Split up and search the area. Her goal was clear. She would make Mi Lin see Tran Lak's true nature and convince her to join their group. Late that night, Tran Lak stood across from Maou Xia. You called me out here to talk? We barely know each other. Maou Xia crossed her arms. I have a proposition. She pointed east. About 3 miles from here, there's a massive shopping mall. If we can secure the supplies inside, we'll have enough food for a year and personal goods for over a decade. She raised a hand. But there are too many zombies inside, so it's not easy to retrieve them. That's why I want to collaborate. I take 70%, you take 30. Fair, right? I have more people. Tran Lak nearly laughed out loud. That mall? That's the same one where Mi Lap and I fought a mutated zombie. I already looted it ages ago. He shook his head. Nope, not happening. There are thousands of zombies in there. I'm not going in. Maou Xia's expression twisted in irritation. Coward, if you're scared, at least pretend to be brave. What kind of scumbag is this? And why is Mi Lin following him? Tran Lak casually waved her off. Go on, have fun, I won't be joining you. In reality, Maou Xia had planned to lure him into danger, hoping to expose his weaknesses and eliminate him. But the guy didn't take the bait. She gritted her teeth. Fine, if he won't fall into my trap, I'll have to find someone else to deal with him. Maou Xia made her way to another room and knocked. Fong Xia, are you in? A voice responded. Oh, Mo Tong, in front of you. How could I dare call myself Fong Ka? Just call me Fong or Tu Fong. She scoffed internally. This damn delivery boy, if it weren't for Mi Lin, I wouldn't have sought him out. But his wind ability is quite powerful. I need a favor. She explained her plan, then added, I want you to use your wind ability to lure zombies toward Tran Lak. She continued, I want to punish that scumbag. Do you understand? The man smirked and clapped his hands together. Got it, Miss Mo. It's an honor to help you. Besides, I can't stand those kinds of men. Then, as if remembering something, he chuckled and added, but after I help you. Before he could finish, Maou Xia interrupted. You want a good position, right? Once this is done, I'll let you join my team. Hearing that, his excitement grew. Thank you, Miss Mo. I'll give it my all. Truth be told, he had always wanted to play the bad guy role. But he lacked the strength. Now, this was his chance. Tiu Lin, just wait. Once I'm done here, we'll be together all day. Every day. Hee. Gripping his sword, he prepared to take action. He suddenly recalled that his old friend, Dai Tru, worked as a guard at the mansion. Last time, he couldn't find him, but this time, he was determined to check. With that in mind, he activated his wind ability. drawing a horde of zombies toward Tran Lak's house. As he neared the mansion, he muttered, "Sorry, my friend." However, before he could continue, he spotted Dai Tru, Tran Lak, and Tiu Hak standing at the entrance. His gaze locked onto Dai Tru, and he asked in confusion, "Why are you here?" Tiu Hak was already preparing to unleash an electric attack, but Tran Lak gestured for him to stop. Seeing the swarm of zombies approaching, Fong Sa's expression turned uneasy. "Damn it, why didn't Mo Thien Ca tell me Dai Tru was here? I can't betray a friend just to join her team." Making a split-second decision, he changed direction and used his wind ability to lead the zombies elsewhere. As he passed, he shouted, "Dai Tru, hold on, I'll lure them away." Tran Lak watched in mild surprise. So he has a wind ability. In my past life, we were somewhat friends. He often helped draw zombies away so he could scavenge supplies. Too bad he didn't make it. He died a terrible death, torn apart by zombies. Fong Ca gave Dai Tru an apologetic smile and said, "Sorry, I didn't know you were here. I didn't mean to scare you with all these zombies." Dai Tru waved him off. "It's fine, Fong Ca. I know you wouldn't bring them here to harm me." Tran Lak, however, narrowed his eyes. "Did Mo Thien Ca tell you to do this?" Fong Ca hesitated. "How do you know that? Wait, does that mean Tran Lak is the scumbag she was talking about?" Tran Lak pressed on. "Did anyone else know about this plan?" Fong Ca shook his head. "No, it was just the two of us. She said she wanted to punish some scumbag, and that she'd make her move at the right moment. So that's her plan, huh?" Before he could say more, a strange sound echoed in the distance. "No way, is that a Tier-5 mutated zombie?" Meanwhile, inside her speeding vehicle, Mo Thien Ca gave a sharp order. "Keep going, don't stop." She assumed the zombies had been drawn here by Quang Fong. "Not bad, Mi Lin, hang in there, just wait for me. I won't let the zombies get you." The car plowed through multiple zombies, sending them flying. But suddenly, a high-level zombie leapt aside, narrowly dodging the impact. Then, forming a fireball in its palm, it hurled the attack straight at the vehicle. Inside, the passengers screamed in terror. "Careful, that's a high-level zombie." Mo Thien Ca immediately jumped out and shouted, "Get out, take cover behind the car," as she took in the sight of the monstrous creature before her. Her expression darkened. "Why is there a mutated zombie this strong here?" "Stay calm, everyone," she ordered. She activated her ability, and several blades materialized in the air. One of her subordinates gasped. "Wait a minute, is that a spatial ability? Just like Tran Lak's?" But the mutated zombie was no ordinary foe. It easily caught one of the blades before it could strike. Then, seizing the moment, it lunged forward in a surprise attack. Mo Thien Ca's face paled. "It's coming straight for me?" But she wasn't about to die so easily. Without hesitation, she grabbed a nearby subordinate and used her as a human shield. The people behind her watched in shock. "Did I see that right? Is this really the same Miss Mo who saved us after the apocalypse?" Meanwhile, Tran Lak, having just arrived at the scene, let out a low whistle. Well, looks like karma finally caught up. But his attention quickly shifted to the mutated zombie's crystal core. "I had to get my hands on that." As soon as Mo Thien Ca saw Tran Lak approaching, she continued plotting against him. However, Tran Lak remained unfazed and stood his ground. He smirked and said, "Miss Mo, so at critical moments, your strategy is to use your own teammates as human shields? How noble of you." Then, without warning, he slapped her across the face. "That's for being an idiot. I never expected you to be this kind of person." The slap jolted Mo Thien Ca back to her senses. How is he this strong? Before she could react, the mutated zombie charged at her and landed a devastating punch to her chest. She collapsed instantly, lifeless on the spot. Tran Lak merely crossed his arms and watched. Meanwhile, Tu Van rushed forward, activating her ability, and shouted, "Everyone, run, I'll hold it off." Tran Lak admired her selflessness. "I respect your courage, not your strength, little sister," he muttered. Without hesitation, he summoned his void sword. Standing before the mutated zombie, he thought to himself, "Such bravery is rare, I won't let her die." Sensing a new threat, the zombie immediately launched a fire attack. However, Tran Lak's abilities weren't so easily countered. Before the flames could reach him, he used his void step to teleport behind the creature and slashed it down with a single strike. Quang Fong and the women watched in utter disbelief. The zombie that had tormented them for so long was slain in an instant. Tran Lak turned toward them and barked, "Hey, throw that gas tank away. Do you want to blow yourselves up?" Tu Van quickly hurled it into the sky. Moments later, it exploded, just as Tran Lak had predicted. She collapsed onto the ground, covering her mouth as she mumbled, "It's finally over." Tran Lak took the opportunity to extract the mutated zombie's energy core. Then, turning to Tu Van, he said, "Stop sitting there crying. Come on, I'll help you up. It's over. There's no more danger." After helping her to her feet, he added, "Now, go reassure your people. The dead need proper burials too." "Thank you," she whispered. Tran Lak then asked, "So, what's your plan now?" The survivors looked at each other in confusion. Their leader was gone. What were they supposed to do next? Tu Van glanced at Tran Lak. That's right, those of us still alive need to keep moving forward. A while later, as Tran Lak sat inside, sipping tea, a voice called out from outside. Tran Lak, are you there? It's me, Tu Van. Hearing this, Tran Lak chuckled. Finally, they're here. With a grin, he got up to open the door. Coming, give me a second, he said casually. Looks like my 50 tons of bait weren't wasted. Hee. It turned out he had already provided them with some supplies earlier. Stepping outside, he said, stick with me, and you'll be safe and well fed. But Tu Van hesitated. I need to talk it over with my people first. We'll find you afterward. Tran Lak simply smiled and nodded. Soon, a group of women arrived. Smirking, he muttered, Mo Thien Ca, your squad is mine now. Tu Van stepped forward. We have 20 people who wish to join your team. Tran Lak nodded. No problem, but there are rules. First, you must obey my orders. No matter the situation, if you refuse to follow, I won't go easy on you. Of course, I'm not talking about anything immoral. Second, don't tell me you're scared or unwilling to fight. In my team, men and women are equals in battle. Third, he paused for a moment before continuing. If you have a partner, I suggest you find one within our group. If you do get together with someone outside, they'll have to join our squad too. The women were surprised by the last rule but quickly saw its logic. This way, they could prevent spies and traitors from infiltrating their ranks. After discussing amongst themselves, they agreed. Understood, we have no objections. Tran Lak nodded. Good, then come on in. Thank you for trusting me. He added, for now, Tu Van will lead you and handle communications with me. As they entered, their eyes widened at the feast laid out before them. One of them gasped, fresh potatoes, am I seeing this right? Another chimed in, so much sauce, we're really living the dream. Meanwhile, a few men in the group exchanged glances. I think, my single life might be coming to an end. One of them whispered, with only 7 guys and 20 women, our odds are looking pretty good. Another muttered. On the side, Quang Fong continued pleading with Tran Lak, hoping to be accepted into the team as well. After taking in the girls, Tran Lak sat aside to review their supernatural abilities. There were 6 with muscle-based powers, 4 with fire abilities, 2 with lightning, 4 with ice, 2 with earth, 1 with nature, and, 1 with light? The one named Vong Lin, wasn't she the girl that Quang Fong had been drooling over? Awakened on the 3rd day. Huh, not bad, just keep an eye on her going forward. That said, it seemed like only Tu Van had the potential to reach king tier level. At this point, Tran Lak turned to Phuong Vu and said, tomorrow, I'll lead the team, you guys stay and guard the base. If there are just a few troublemakers, warn them. If they don't listen, beat them up. If it's a large group, pretend you didn't hear anything and wait for my return. After finishing the handover, Tran Lak set off. Their convoy had now reached an area swarming with zombies. From the looks of it, there were probably around 300 to 400 zombies ahead. Perfect for the team to wipe out and farm some energy crystals. Everyone, get into formation, Tran Lak ordered. Quang Fong, try to control the number of zombies per team. If more than 30 come at once, pull them away and split them up. Quang Fong immediately sprang into action, leading a trail of zombies right on his heels. Don't worry, everyone, I'll do my best. Meanwhile, the muscle-type ability team led by Dai Tru began the attack. Everyone, follow my command and block them. Behind them, the magic user team supported the front line, coordinating attacks with the muscle group. Their synergy was actually impressive. But suddenly, a zombie slid through the formation. Ah, why didn't I hit it? A girl shouted as the zombie flew in her direction. Who knocked it sideways? That one was mine. Damn it. Just when they'd been praised for their teamwork. Another zombie charged at a girl in a white dress. Oh my god, help me, I haven't even finished off this one. And another's already coming? Tran Lak watched the girl's chaotic coordination with a speechless look. If they keep this up, they're going to get wiped out sooner or later. I need to let them get more real combat experience quickly. 2 hours later, they were all slumped on the ground. Totally exhausted, Tran Lak came over and encouraged them. This was your first coordinated battle. You all did well. Now go inside and pick out clothes that suit you. The girls immediately perked up at the mention of new outfits. As Tran Lak watched them excitedly rummage around, he discreetly slipped something into his bag. Mi Lin, observing from nearby, noticed it. Wait, isn't that fishnet stockings? Oh wow, this guy is something else. She thought to herself, he's not crazy enough to wear those himself, right? No way. He's not that much of a pervert. Then who's he getting them for? Could it be Milap? But those colors don't suit her vibe at all. Suddenly, a girl came running up and shouted, hey sisters, there's a fully stocked supply supermarket over here. Come quick. They entered the store and were about to drink from a water bottle when Tu Van stopped them. Wait, don't drink it yet. She walked over to Tran Lak and asked, Captain, may we each have one of these water bottles? No problem, make it 2 bottles per person. Tran Lak replied. Milap, standing nearby, couldn't help but sigh. Following brother Tran Lak is really the best. Since I started tagging along with him, I haven't had to worry about food or clothes. And he even protects us too. At that moment, Milap was deep in thought, seriously telling herself, This is something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. No matter what, tonight I had to tell him how I feel. Meanwhile, Tran Lak was in his room playing a game when Milap knocked on the door. Brother Tran Lak, are you in there? I'm coming in. Hearing that it was Milap, Tran Lak immediately replied, come on in, it's already late. What's she coming into my room for? Hee, finally, an opportunity to do something bad. Milap stepped inside shyly. Brother Tran Lak, after seeing Sister Tu Van and the others go into battle this afternoon, I realized how lucky I am to have you by my side. She blushed, continuing, actually, there's something I've been holding in for a long time. Tran Lak looked at her expression, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. Could it be? Milap turned to him and said softly, I want to be your girlfriend. Is that okay? Tran Lak pushed her down onto the bed and grinned. Do you know how long I've been waiting to hear that? Then he kissed her cheek. This happiness, it really came out of nowhere, he thought. Milap said shyly, I haven't mentally prepared for this yet. Tran Lak replied gently, Milap, it's the apocalypse now. Who knows how long we'll live? We might have today, but there might not be a tomorrow. By the time you're ready, your brother Tran Lak might already be dead. He kissed her forehead. Wouldn't that be a pity? She listened, and in her heart, she knew he was right. She placed both hands around his neck and said, then, let's do it. Just as Tran Lak was about to make his move, the two of them turned to the side. What the hell? That damn cat, when did it get in here? As expected, Tran Lak immediately tossed the cat outside to resume his work. The cat, furious, thought, Tran Lak, you weren't this kind of person before? Outside, Mi Lin happened to walk by. Oh, isn't this Tran Lak's cat? Why are you out here instead of clinging to him? The cat replied, he's bullying Milap in there. I saw her looking really uncomfortable. He probably kicked me out so I couldn't help her. Mi Lin raised an eyebrow. Bullying? What kind of bullying? She walked up to the door. What's going on in there? Tran, but Tiu Hak rushed over, blocking her. No one is allowed in without the master's permission. Mi Lin raised her hand to knock, then suddenly paused. If Milap was willing, then what am I barging in for? She turned and walked away, thinking, my little cabbage is about to be boiled. Forget it, sooner or later, this was bound to happen anyway. After everything was said and done, Tran Lak stepped outside, cheerfully announcing, I'm in such a good mood today. For lunch, each team gets 10 extra pounds of pork. Let's have a feast. Someone asked, but where's Milap? Isn't it time to eat? She never sleeps past noon. Mi Lin passed by, teasing, probably got taken advantage of. Isn't that obvious? Tran Lak just chuckled softly. Well then, I'll go fry some eggs, and cook some extra dishes for everyone. Later, he asked the cat, why aren't you eating today? It's not good to stay hungry. The cat huffed, if I stay hungry while mad, that's a very serious matter. Tran Lak frowned, how serious are we talking? 10 dried fish serious? No, 20. Fine, deal. The cat crossed its paws smugly. HMPH, because you're so sincere, I'll let you off this time. Hug me. Tran Lak laughed. Sure, during the day, but you're an adult cat now. You should be sleeping alone at night. Later at lunch, everyone sat neatly along a long table. Tran Lak raised his glass and said, let's begin our meal. Everyone lifted their glasses and the feast began. Suddenly, outside the base, a strange car pulled up. Bro, do you smell that? Yeah, smells so good. I think it's grilled meat. Two siblings stepped out of the car. Bro, it smells amazing. I want some too. But the older brother said, Tuesday, that can wait. First we need to solve the water situation. Back inside, as Tran Lak's group was eating, someone stepped into the base and said, sorry to interrupt, but do you have any clean water? I'm willing to trade some food for it. Tran Lak smiled and said, we can trade. He then asked Tu Van to bring out 2 bottles of clean water and handed them to the siblings. Just like that, the trade was complete. Thank you so much, everyone, the girl said gratefully. The older brother took his sister's hand and was about to leave. But she hesitated. Brother, they're part of a team, right? Do you think they're still accepting new members? Tran Lak walked over. What is it? You two want to join my team? Yes, we'd like to join, the brother replied. Then you'll need to prove yourselves. Go kill 10 zombies. You can borrow weapons, but no vehicles or extras. Bring back the crystals from their brains. Then come see me. Without hesitation, they set off. Watching the 2 siblings walk away, Tran Lak thought to himself, if they're siblings, they're probably trustworthy, and it seems like they've got some skills too. I hope they won't disappoint me. As they walked, the pink-haired girl turned to her brother. Looks like the fact that zombies have crystals in their heads isn't a secret after all. I thought only we knew. Her brother replied, anyone who feeds an entire team meat every day isn't simple. He told us to kill 10 zombies, so let's kill 20 to prove our worth. Got it, she nodded. An hour later, they returned. Tran Lak saw the number of crystals they'd collected and congratulated them. Welcome to the team. Now, what are your abilities? When did you awaken? I'm Li Min, awakened on the 3rd day. My younger sister is Tuesday, awakened on the 2nd day. My power is simply physical enhancement, while my sister, you could call her a witch. Hearing, witch, Tran Lak raised an eyebrow in doubt. Tuesday demonstrated a bit of her ability, saying, it's like this. Tran Lak recognized it immediately. It was a dark type ability. If she improves her powers, whether through spellcasting, summoning undead, or direct attacks, she'll be a huge asset to the team. He turned and said, "Me knock, could you whip up a plate of stir-fried tofu with pork for them? It's a good day, and everyone deserves a portion." "Thank you, Captain." That evening, Tran Lak paced around, thinking aloud. It's already this late, Milap should have finished absorbing her crystal by now. He looked over to the cat. "Hey, kitty, tonight you sleep with me Lin, okay? I've got something important to do." The cat muttered, "Do whatever you want, just keep it quiet." Tran Lak rolled his eyes and walked away. "Fine, if you won't leave, then I will." The cat watched him leave. Confused. Tran Lak's being weird. Why doesn't he want me around at night anymore? Tran Lak walked into Milap's room. "Milap, I'm here. Tonight, let's." But she was wrapped up in a blanket and said softly, "Not tonight, I'm still sore." Tran Lak gently hugged her. Alright, there'll be plenty of chances in the future. I'll try to hold back." Then he suddenly grinned and teased. "Or, why don't you try using healing magic on yourself?" Her whole face turned red. The next morning, their convoy rolled along the road. Tran Lak briefed the team. "Our mission today is to gather supplies in the southern region of Nok Lam. There are a lot of people and zombies there, so stay sharp. Block the zombies using the cars. Elemental users attack, the rest guard the front. Quang Fong, keep managing the zombie flow." Quang Fong once again zipped around like the wind, drawing zombies. "Hey, you rotten bastards, chase me if you can." Tu Van shouted from her position. "Follow my orders, aim carefully, attack." The zombies were struck with deadly precision. Inside the vehicle, Tran Lak chuckled. "Not bad, your magic's a lot more accurate than before." Nearby, Dai Tru instructed the others. "Use the smaller cars to block the roads ahead. No need to rush, take your time." "Yes, Captain." Tran Lak sat in the car, holding the cat and watching the battle unfold. Suddenly, the cat muttered, "Not tonight, still sore?" Tran Lak was stunned. Did this cat just mock me? This damn cat isn't ordinary at all. Huh? He narrowed his eyes. "Hey, where did you learn that line?" The cat said smugly. "You said I couldn't watch." "Not that I couldn't listen in. I heard everything last night from the rooftop, almost fell off." 2. Tran Lak narrowed his eyes. "You know too much. Little cat, be careful or I'll silence you for good. Meow meow." 30 minutes later, in the Nok Lam area, Tran Lak addressed the group. "Everyone, grab a weapon. We're getting off the truck to slaughter some zombies." Milap, standing nearby, pointed excitedly. "Brother Tran Lak, there are so many restaurants here. There might be tons of delicious stuff. Let's split up and check." Tran Lak replied. "After you grab supplies, bring them back to the truck." Seconds later, everyone was hauling loads of goods, noodles, rice, cooking oil, meat, and more. Just then, a girl called out, "Captain, come here quickly. There's a supermarket that hasn't been looted yet." Mi Lin saw the massive building and thought, a supermarket this big? Maybe they even sell that kind of stuff. Tu Van, seeing Mi Lin rummaging through things sneakily, raised an eyebrow and trailed behind, curious about what she was doing. Then she spotted an item with the label, ultra thin, and was shocked. She's looking for stuff like that, for Tran Lak? Don't tell me the two of them are that close? Mi Lin turned around and saw Tu Van staring. "Don't misunderstand, this is just," Tu Van, feigning indifference, pointed elsewhere. "I'll go help over there." Mi Lin sighed internally. If it weren't for Milap, would I be looking for things like this? Damn that Tran Lak. Suddenly, Tran Lak sensed someone watching him. He turned and spotted someone spying from a building. It was an old woman, leaning over a railing. "Young man, I can tell at a glance that you're kind-hearted. I haven't eaten watermelon in days. This heat is killing me. Could you spare me a slice?" Then, more people chimed in. "Give me some water. Got any meat? Go grab some duck legs from the supermarket. Bring Grandpa some cigarettes." Tran Lak was speechless. Finally, he shouted back, "My legs don't work too well. I can't climb stairs. If you want something, come get it yourself." That triggered another round of arguing. "Should we go down? If we don't, that guy's gonna take all the supplies." Footsteps echoed from the stairwell. People were coming down. "We get that truck. We won't have to fear zombies anymore." "Ha ha ha, we had to take it." A group of people wielding sticks and pipes approached. "Let's get him first." An older woman stepped up, yelling, "Hand over those supplies. You little punks are robbing us. You know that? So young yet so disrespectful. Didn't your parents teach you manners?" Tran Lak stood silently, not even bothering to respond. A moment later, he said calmly, "What a bunch of loudmouth old geezers. This your house or something?" A wrinkled old man with a bandaged forehead replied, "My younger brother owns the supermarket, so yeah, it's ours." Tran Lak stared. "Your younger brother? Huh? Seriously?" Behind the old man, two more men were sneaking toward the truck. "Hey, old Jong, weren't you a driver back then? Let's take this truck back to the neighborhood." Tran Lak snapped, "Get the hell out of here." The old man bluffed. "What, you gonna hit me?" He pointed to his own head. "Right here, lots of blood already, scratch this itch for me." So Tran Lak granted his wish, with a solid slap that sent him flying to the ground. Everyone nearby rushed over to check if the old man was still alive. Tran Lak muttered to himself, "Are these old farts blind? Can't see that guy's face is totally disfigured now? He snapped his fingers. You guys saw it. They tried to rob us. This is what you call respecting your elders? If I don't kill a chicken to scare the monkeys, he thought, they'll never back off. Suddenly, an elderly couple at the back noticed the man wasn't moving. Oh no, old Lee is dead, they shrieked. I know Kung Fu and Tai Chi. I'll fight you. But before she could finish her sentence, flames shot through the air, forcing the old man and women to flee in terror, losing their shoes in the process. Ah, murder, they screamed. Just then, a group of men emerged from behind. Tran Lak looked over, then narrowed his eyes. They look familiar. Then it hit him. Tran Quang. That was the man he had once followed in his past life, back when he was still weak. Tran Quang approached, smiling. They're just some old folks. My neighbors. Didn't have the heart to strike first. He glanced at the scene. But I didn't expect someone to die by your hand. He paused, then said lightly. You're not thinking of revenge, are you? Hey, don't get me wrong, brother. We came here today for 2 reasons, said Tran Quang. 1, to make friends. 2, to ask for your help. I'm Tran Quang. I'm Tran Lak. So, what do you need help with? Tran Quang explained. We've got over 1,000 people where we're staying. We've got supplies, too, but some things are impossible to get. He took a deep breath. For the past 2 days, a mutated husky has been wreaking havoc. It turned into a zombie dog with intelligence. Our manpower is limited, and that beast has already killed half our people. We've found its den, but we don't have enough people to take it down. You seem to have a strong team. I was hoping we could cooperate. Tran Lak asked. And the payment? Tran Quang replied. For payment, about 150 kilograms of rice and 5 barrels of water. Deal? The cat, perched beside Tran Lak, meowed. They're not hostile. You can trust them. Tran Lak gave the cat a pat and nodded. Alright, got it. Lead the way. He turned to his team. Keep transporting the goods. I'll go check this out. Come on, Tiu Hack. Tran Quang looked worried. You're going alone? Tran Lak raised a brow. You don't see the dog behind me? When Tran Quang turned to look, he was stunned to see that Tiu Hack was just a small puppy. You actually keep 2 pets? In the middle of the apocalypse? Bro, seriously? Then he noticed the long-legged girls in Tran Lak's team. An apocalypse like this and you've got a whole team of beauties? Is this the pinnacle of life? Milap ran up and asked. Brother Tran Lak, can I go with you? Tran Lak smiled. Be good and wait for me to come back. Alright? He handed the cat over to her. Tran Quang could only sigh in envy. He's got a cat, a dog, and a wife. Food's never short. What kind of life is this? On the way, Tran Quang explained. The thing's hiding in a garden. We tried everything but couldn't touch it. Do you have any plan to deal with a zombie dog? Tran Lak looked at Tiu Hack. Just fight fire with fire, or in this case, dog with dog. Tran Quang was speechless. That's your plan? You have a grudge against pets or something? This is way too risky. Tiu Hack ran forward. Relax, he'll be fine, Tran Lak assured. Tiu Hack even nodded. He can nod? Tran Quang was amazed. That dog's really smart. Soon, they reached a tall building. Once upstairs, they found a torn-up door, reeking of blood. As the door opened, Tiu Hack asked, Hey, what's your name, mutt? Then he charged in. If you're not gonna talk, you can die instead. The zombie dog responded fast. It even used lightning powers. But Tiu Hack dodged effortlessly. You can't hit me. Tran Quang, watching this, was stunned. Holy crap, that speed. Tiu Hack then used his tail to block the next strike before launching a counterattack. His tail crackled with lightning, like a move straight out of Pikachu's Iron Tail. The zombie dog was sent flying hundreds of meters away. Tran Lak smirked. Looks like our cooperation is complete. Time to deliver the promised supplies. Don't you think? Tran Quang was speechless. Wait, that puppy finished the whole thing? Tiu Hack barked smugly. Woof woof woof, I'm a badass. Alright? Before long, the supplies were delivered. Brother Tran Lak, Tran Quang said, have you considered forming an alliance with us? Tran Lak raised a brow. An alliance? Tran Quang nodded enthusiastically. I'm not bluffing, our people are strong. We've each killed dozens of zombies. As for food, we've got enough to last half a year. Tran Lak chuckled. I could slaughter your whole team by myself. Why would I ally with you? The strong don't ally with the weak. But, he added, if there is an alliance, then you follow me. Before they could say more, someone ran over in panic. Bad news, a group of zombies is attacking. Trong Luong is seriously injured. Half our team's been wiped out. Please, come quickly. Tran Lak turned to Milap. Come with me, let's check it out. Seeing his friend wounded, Tran Quang turned to Tran Lak. Desperate. Brother Tran Lak, please. Is there any way to save him? He's my brother. Tran Lak nodded. Milap, heal him. Milap used her healing ability. And not long after, Trong Luong, who had been on the brink of death, sat up and thanked them. Amazing, thank you both so much. As Tran Lak was about to leave, he said, take your time thinking about my offer. Tran Quang watched Tran Lak and Milap walk away, deep in thought. Healing powers, just how powerful are they? Just how strong are these people? After learning this was the stage where zombies evolved, Tran Lak gathered everyone and gave them a morale boost. He clapped and said, if you've chosen to follow me, Of course I won't abandon anyone. Now I'll briefly explain the situation. Level 1 zombies can use magic just like us. And they even have a bit of intelligence. To deal with them, we'll need 2 fighters and 2 mages per group. Don't worry, just because they've evolved doesn't mean we're doomed. If they swarm us, just run. Then Tran Lak began training everyone with basic skills. Me Lin, 2 Van, you 2 use magic to attack me. I'll dodge. 1 wielded ice, the other fire. Be careful, they warned, you might lose a tooth. When they launched their attacks, Tran Lak easily dodged all of them. Everyone was stunned. How is that possible? Our captain is so badass. Tran Lak smiled and told me Lin and 2 Van. This is the result of anticipating the direction of the attack. Once you read the signs, it's easy to dodge. Me Lin raised an eyebrow. Observation hockey? Tran Lak chuckled. Exactly. Just predict the trajectory, and you're safe. Let me try again, Me Lin said, clearly not satisfied. As Tran Lak closed his eyes and dodged with ease, suddenly one hit him square in the face and he fell over. I predicted your prediction, Me Lin smirked. No wonder they call you Lin the Flame. He muttered, but don't worry, level 1 zombies can't predict like that. If they could, we'd better run. Alright, Tran Lak said. After lunch, pair up and keep practicing. Each of you gets 3 level 1 cores. If you don't train properly, no dinner. By late afternoon, Tran Lak sat in the car thinking, now that zombies are evolving, survivors will also start turning on each other. Just then, Me Lin spotted a group of thugs bullying a young couple. That's Me Lap's friend, she cried. Tran Lak asked, are you close? She's my best friend. Please, help them. If it's someone important to you, then I can't just ignore it. He immediately ordered the battle dog Phap Vong, Magic King, to charge. The thugs saw the dog and laughed, thinking they were about to get a free meal. But then Me Lin and Dai Tru ambushed them from behind, catching them off guard. Tiu Hak barked fiercely, you think this dog is easy prey? After the scuffle, Me Lap ran over. Tin Tin, it's me, don't be scared. She introduced them. Tin Tin, this is Tran Lak. He sent people to save you. Thank you so much. The girl said, I'm Tuong Tin Tin, and this is my father. Trong Dong Tan, we have nowhere left to go. Could we join your group? Tran Lak replied, just follow my rules. Do you know how to drive? Join us back at the base tonight. Later, Me Lap said quietly to Tin Tin, let's sleep together and chat tonight. But Tran Lak cut in, not without my permission. No unauthorized entry into the villa. He called out to Tu Van, this one's your responsibility. Come on, Tin Tin, dinner's ready. Tu Van said. Tin Tin sat down and gasped. This smells amazing, but where's Me Lap? Why isn't she eating with everyone? Tu Van explained, Tran Lak is like the boss, and we're the staff. Eating with the boss feels awkward, so we all split up during meals. Split up? Tin Tin thought, are they secretly eating better food without me? Unbelievable. Back at the villa, Tran Lak told Me Lap, watch your friend carefully. Don't reveal anything about what we're doing here. If she's honest, even without powers, we can assign her to logistics. Yes, understood. Suddenly, a voice came through the radio. Captain Tran Lak, there are more than a dozen vehicles outside. Looks like 50 to 60 people. Tran Lak frowned. Looks like some survivors fleeing from zombies. Alert everyone to gather immediately. Meanwhile, Tu Van said, we've got intruders. Everyone, fall back to the residential area. Tin Tin looked confused. What's going on? Are we about to fight? Tu Van asked, what's your ability? I have enhanced strength, she replied. Then take the front line. What? But I'm only 18. Why not let Li Wei do it? She's also staying at the back. Li Wei said calmly, I have a support type ability. That's why brother Tran Lak placed me in the rear. Tu Van grabbed her arm and snapped. Stop arguing and move. We don't have time for this. Li Wei shot back. I'm Me Lap's best friend. You guys can't treat me like this. Here we go again with this girl. Me Lap, noticing the scene, stepped in gently. Tin Tin, don't be scared. You've been through this before, right? I'll be here to support you. I promise I'll boost you into your best state. If you get hurt, I'll heal you first, okay? But all Tin Tin could focus on was the bit of cream on Me Lap's lips. Looked like she just had something tasty. Me Lap continued, brother Tran Lak will protect all of us too. But Tin Tin thought, she keeps calling him brother all of a sudden? I don't remember her being that close to him before. Did she trade her body to get into his good graces? Tran Lak, observing from nearby, immediately called Me Lap over, sensing something was off with Tin Tin. But Tin Tin just kept stewing in her thoughts. She gave herself to him and still can't even stand up for me. Some best friend. Just then, a crowd arrived outside Tran Lak's house, shouting, big place like this and you're not letting people in? I'm warning you, Brett. I'm a level 2 ability user. Tran Lak soon showed up. Tran Quang lit up with joy when he saw him. The gang's leader looked over and scoffed. So this spoiled kid is the boss? He stepped up and said, hey, bro, can you let us in? We're not asking much. My people haven't eaten all day. Can't you spare just a little food and water? Tran Lak replied coldly, no freebies, only trade. 1 zombie core for 1 bottle of water and half a kilo of rice. Everything is divided evenly here. No handouts. The leader raised an eyebrow. Is this guy an idiot? Why the hell is he exposing the secret about zombie cores like that? He sneered, I thought you had an army here. But it's just a bunch of chicks. Cute ones, though. He turned to his men. That guy says we have to trade if we want food. What do you all think? The group jeered. Trade? Screw that. Let's beat him down and take everything. Tran Lak was about to respond. But suddenly, Tin Tin spoke up, as if she was doing the right thing. Just give them some food and send them away. Milap was stunned. Tin Tin, what are you saying? She answered. I'm not wrong. A little food to avoid a fight. What's the harm in that? I'm standing right here. If a fight breaks out and I get hurt, then what? The gang leader smirked. She gets it. We're not asking for much. Just a ton of rice. A bit of water and food. We'll pay it all back later. Promise. Tran Lak marched over and slapped Tin Tin so hard she spat blood. And who the hell are you to speak on our behalf? Her father rushed forward, furious. Tran Lak, what the hell was that? What did my daughter say that was so wrong? We've got numbers, and you're hoarding supplies in a bunch of villas. Sharing a little to avoid conflict, is that so bad? Are you really the kind of guy who risks your subordinates' lives just to look tough? Milap walked over and quietly said, Tin Tin, but Tin Tin snapped, don't pretend to be nice. I saw you sneak off for lunch with Tran Lak and eat something fancy. Then you send me to the front lines? I always thought we were best friends. Tran Lak said coldly, I saved you. All the food and water you've had came from me. Now you're jealous and trying to give orders? Sit the hell down, bitch. Milap thought to herself. Some people really aren't worth saving. Tran Lak turned and said, let's move on. The gang leader shouted, I heard everything. You've got multiple villas filled with supplies. Give us one. That's fair. Tran Lak turned to another group standing nearby. You guys are from a separate group, right? You here to demand supplies too? One of them, seeing how serious Tran Lak was, said quickly, no, we're just scouting the area. If this is your territory, we'll leave right away. The gang leader scoffed, cowards. Then he turned back to Tran Lak. So are you giving it or not? Tran Lak, unfazed, activated his spatial ability. Fine, here's your share. Before he even finished speaking, the gang leader's head vanished, swallowed by space. His men stood frozen in horror. What just happened? It was that spoiled kid. He did it. Tran Lak raised a hand to Tuvan and the others. If they're that eager to die, let's grant their wish. After witnessing Tran Lak's overwhelming power, Tin Tin finally understood why he never backed down. Tran Lak's group quickly wiped out the arrogant fools without breaking a sweat. Tran Lak ordered coldly, strip all the zombie cores from their heads, then bury the bodies behind the mountain. Tin Tin, now pale with regret, thought to herself, if only I hadn't opened my stupid mouth earlier. Now I'm screwed. Panicked, she crawled toward Tran Lak, pleading, please don't kill me. I won't dare to speak out of turn again. I swear. Tran Lak replied coldly, how could I kill Milap's friend? But that doesn't mean I'll shelter someone like you. Before I change my mind, get out. Realizing Tran Lak wasn't going to help her, she turned desperately to Milap. Milap, help me. Milap smiled faintly. Well, we were best friends, so I guess it's every friend for herself now. Goodbye. Her father, seeing the situation, asked anxiously, what do we do now, sweetie? But Tin Tin just brushed it off. It's fine, Dad. If Milap could latch onto a top dog, I can too. Sooner or later, they'll come begging us for help. Let's go. Meanwhile, Tiu Hak was lying lazily nearby when Tran Lak suddenly kicked him in the rear. Using telepathy, Tran Lak said, don't leave behind a threat. Tiu Hak barked, understood, boss. If it's dog trash, let a dog take it out. The black pup then turned and followed the scent, heading off to finish the job. Over on the other side, Tran Quang came running up, a bit out of breath. That guy with glasses from earlier, he came back, said he's got something important. What is it? Tran Lak asked. No clue. He wouldn't say, but I don't think he's lying. He looked dead serious, so I figured I should report it. Tran Lak nodded. Mi Lin, take Milap back to the house. I'll go check it out. Not long after, Tran Lak arrived to meet the young man. Hello, boss. My name is Lan Than. I wanted to ask if you're accepting new members. We want to join your group. Tran Lak raised an eyebrow. This is the important matter you mentioned? No, that's just part of it. There's also this. He pulled something from his pocket, a crystal. Tran Lak's eyes lit up in surprise. Well, holding the core in his hand, he thought to himself, a level 6 crystal? I didn't expect that. How'd you get this? He asked. Lan then explained. We pulled it from the body of a giant beast, over 10 meters tall. We brought it as a gift for our first meeting. What do you think, boss? Tran Lak gave a small smile. Since you've shown such sincerity, I suppose I can make an exception. He turned to Tran Quang. Go over the rules with them. Tran Quang nodded. You just need to follow one thing. Listen to everything brother Tran Lak says. And fight to earn your meals. That's it. I understand. Lan then replied. Tran Lak looked back at the core, thinking, with this, I can reach level 5 in less than 3 days, half a month faster than I planned. He gave one final instruction. Keep watching the main gate. If any other team passes by and they've got a light type ability user, let them in. If they refuse, capture them. You got it, boss. Just then, Tiu Hak returned from his little mission. Tran Lak looked at him. Back already? Tiu Hak simply barked. Woof, woof. Mission complete, sir. After letting Lan Than's group join, Tran Lak announced the next step. All teams would continue leveling up. Lan Than's group would join the expedition for training. You're new, so there won't be any crystal requirements for now. He explained. Tu Van will lead your group. Soon, the teams set out. Lan Fong turned to Tran Quang. Surprise, I thought you'd be leading. Didn't expect that beautiful girl to be in charge. Is she really that strong? Tran Quang laughed. Me? I'm just another underling. Tu Van's the real boss, lots of experience. I heard she's already reached level 3. Lan Fong was shocked. Damn, all these girls are already level 2 or higher? That's seriously impressive. As they approached an area crawling with zombies, Tu Van gave her orders. Form teams of 4. Focus on scavenging supplies. If you find anything, report it immediately. Stay alert and don't let the zombies ambush you. Quang Fong, take watch at the gate of the residential area. Alert us if anything happens. Yes, ma'am. But as Quang Fong turned back to look, his eyes widened in shock. Several yellow sedans were heading their way. This isn't good, he immediately reported via comms. Heads up, everyone, multiple vehicles heading into the area. Stay alert. Tu Van heard the alert and gave the order. Regroup now. Hold off on collecting supplies. Assess the situation first. The other members quickly received the call and started returning. There are a lot of them. We need to stay together. One of them said. What about the supplies we found? Another asked. Tu Van responded. We'll deal with that later. With the team gathered, we're not afraid of anyone trying to steal from us. But just as they were making their way back, the yellow cars blocked their path. Several thugs stepped out. Well, one sneered. It's been a while since I've seen such clean, beautiful girls. He walked up, grinning sleazily. Hello, ladies. Diamla immediately shoved his hand away. What the hell are you doing? With a disgusting smirk, he replied, just doing what you want me to do. Come on, sweetie, it's the apocalypse. No need to be so uptight. Before he could finish, Diamla kicked him hard between the legs. Get lost, you filthy perv. His buddy roared. You little B***tch. You dare hit my bro? Restrain those two guys. As for the girls, we'll take our time with them. The gang surrounded the two young men. Diamla shouted, get out of the way or I'll kill you. But she didn't notice one of them coming from behind. He slammed a baton across her head. She collapsed to the ground. Stupid bitch, die already. From the car, another thug barked. Blackie, what the hell are you doing? It's nothing, just teaching some sluts a lesson. Blackie replied. The man in the car thought. Blackie's a twisted bastard, but he's strong, no point scolding him too hard. So he said casually, don't overdo it, stop looking for excuses to mess around. While they were tying up the two guys, one of the thugs suddenly took a hit to the face, a clean slap. 4 Eyes, another man, had jumped down from the car. Just then, Tu Van appeared, bow drawn. Let them go, now. 4 Eyes sneered, you killed one of mine and still dare demand we let them go? As Tu Van fired an arrow, he summoned an earth shield. He must have had earth abilities. Even he was impressed. This girl's no joke, he thought. Better not go head to head with her. Tu Van also realized things could escalate quickly. This isn't going to be easy, can't be reckless. She said calmly, release my team members. After some hesitation, he waved for Blackie to back off and release them. But it looked like Diamla wasn't going to make it. Blood stained her head as she lay motionless. Tu Van cradled her, tearfully blaming herself. It's my fault, I didn't lead properly. That's why this happened. The gang just laughed. Ah, look at her cry. What a joke. Left with no choice, Tu Van stood and said quietly, let's go. But deep inside, she was thinking, just wait. Tran Lac won't let this go. Blackie turned to Tu Van's team and sneered. Brother Veen said you can scram, but leave the car. Tu Van clenched her fists in frustration but didn't want to risk more casualties. Leave it, let's go. After they left, Blackie frowned and asked Veen, why'd we let them go? There were a lot of hot chicks in that group. Veen slapped him across the face. You just love making trouble, don't you? That girl isn't someone we can mess with. Clutching his cheek, Blackie muttered, what's there to be afraid of? We've got numbers on our side. There's no way she can get away from us. Veen scowled. I'm worried it's not that simple. He thought to himself, they probably have a base nearby. If we don't act fast, they'll come for revenge. Back at the base, Tu Van reported everything to Tran Lac. Diamla is dead, she said, her voice low, and not because of zombies. She was killed by those scumbag survivors. Tran Lac listened silently, then said firmly, you did the right thing. If you'd risked your life to fight them head on, that would have been real madness. He looked around at the team. If any of you die at the hands of zombies, that's fate. But if someone dares to bully my people, I won't let them walk away. Then he walked outside and raised his voice so everyone could hear. Blood must be repaid with blood. I don't sleep on grudges. Raising his hand, he shouted, follow me. Anyone who dares challenge us will not live to regret it. At that moment, Blackie pointed toward the road and said, Veen, someone's coming, it's that group from earlier. Veen narrowed his eyes. That fast? They're already back for revenge? Sure enough, Tran Lac led his people toward them, cold determination on his face. Tu Van pointed directly at them. It's them. Veen's mind raced. Isn't she a level 3 ability user? Why is she deferring to that young man? Tran Lac stepped forward and asked flatly, you the leader? Veen didn't answer. Tran Lac continued, you got guts. Didn't think anyone would dare touch my people. And now you expect me to let it go? Not happening. Veen's expression shifted. This guy, he's no ordinary punk. He's too calm. I can't afford to go head to head with him. I'll return the car, Veen offered, and compensate you with 1 ton of rice. Fair? Tran Lak laughed coldly. 1 person is dead. You think a single ton of rice makes up for that? He raised an eyebrow. Fine. How about I give you 100 tons, in exchange for your life? Sound fair? Veen's eye twitched. Is this guy insane? But something about Tran Lak's presence made his blood run cold. No, he's not insane. If I say the wrong thing, this could blow up. He forced a smile and said, it was Blackie who caused this. The others shouldn't have to suffer for his mistake. Restrain him and hand him over. Immediately, Blackie was grabbed by his own men. Veen, you can't do this to me. And she hit me first. Remember? Tran Lak stared at Veen. And you think just giving me 1 guy makes us even? He shook his head. No way, I'm not done yet. Blackie dropped to his knees, begging, big bro, please, I wasn't the only one. Li Ku and Maou Nhi helped too. Tran Lak turned to Veen. So, what now? Veen, clearly rattled, hesitated. Then we'll give you 2 more. That's all we can spare. Soon after, the 2 named men were also dragged forward and forced to kneel before Tran Lak. Tran Lak's eyes were ice. Beat them, keep going until you're satisfied. The crowd didn't hesitate. Shoes and boots rained down on the 3 men. Screams of pain echoed through the area. Their faces swelled up like balloons. But many still hadn't taken their turn. Vong Lin, heal them, Tran Lak commanded. Vong Lin stepped up and quickly used her healing power. Alright, Tran Lak said. Next group, your turn. 2 Van stepped forward, holding a fan with embedded nails. No more shoes. We're using this now. Cries of agony rang out once again as blood spilled. Even Veen was horrified. These people are ruthless. Soon the 3 beaten men lay motionless on the ground. Groaning, 2 Van muttered, TCH, their faces still aren't thick enough to take a real beating. Veen finally spoke up. Brother, the ones responsible are dead. You even killed one of ours earlier. Isn't it even now? Tran Lak's eyes narrowed. Those bastards don't even compare to the person we lost. Not enough. He added coldly. None of your people will leave here peacefully. Not a single one. Veen protested. What kind of logic is that? Tran Lak's voice turned to steel. I don't owe you logic. Veen growled. I've never met anyone as arrogant as you. Good, he said through clenched teeth. You think we're scared of you? After that, Lu Chi got out of the car and said, I'm Lu Chi, a level 2 support type. I can heal and boost physical strength. I wonder if I qualify to join? Hearing that he was a healer, Tran Quang couldn't help but be impressed. That's rare, he said. Once you join, you'll still have to go out with the team every day to kill zombies and collect cores. Lu Chi nodded. No problem at all. Later, Tran Quang brought them to meet Tran Lak. Big bro, these folks want to join the team. What do you think? He pointed them out. We've got Vong Seo, he's level 2. This Lu Chi is also level 2. Light element. The other 3 are level 1. Tran Lak thought to himself. This guy's name rings a bell. Probably one of those famous healers people call Nai Ba, nanny dads. The kitten beside him meowed. They don't seem to have bad intentions. No problem here. Tran Lak nodded. Alright then. Welcome to the team. Everyone. Then he turned to Tran Quang. Have someone prepare them a proper meal. By evening, Tran Lak was still surprised they'd recruited a light element user today, plus 2 level 2s. Talk about lucky, he thought. He pulled out the level 6 crystal and smiled to himself. If nothing unexpected happens, I should reach level 5 today. He sat down and began absorbing energy from the crystal. A while later, it shattered into pieces. Tran Lak opened his eyes with a satisfied grin. He hadn't expected to reach level 5 in just a month. But he also knew that from here on, unless he came across more lucky breaks like this, his growth would slow significantly. Still, that was a problem for the future. He patted the little cat on the head. Can't always be working like a machine. Time to relax a little. I'm off to find me lab to celebrate. The kitten thought to itself. Once again, Maou is left alone on the cold, lonely bed. Early the next morning, Tran Lak gathered everyone together. He announced that they would be moving out as a group. This place is dangerous, he said, so stay sharp, everyone. He gave Tran Quang instructions to bring some subordinates and Tiu Hak along. The rest were told to pack up and prepare to depart. Soon after, Tran Lak's convoy rolled out of their base to scavenge for supplies. It didn't take long before they arrived at a wholesale market, complete with a frozen goods warehouse, grain and oil stores, and more. But because it was a market, it was bound to be crawling with zombies. Holding a walkie-talkie, Tran Lak issued orders. A magic team alone could handle this. But a standard 4-man squad won't be enough. We'll use bait and lure tactics instead. He assigned Quang Fong to draw the zombies' attention. Seeing that, Mi Lap cast enhancements on him, boosting both his strength and stamina. Before long, a massive horde of zombies was chasing after Quang Fong. While sprinting, he reported back. These are all low-level zombies. Their attack range isn't far. As long as we keep a distance of 20 meters, we're safe. As the horde approached, Tran Lak shouted, everyone, prepare for combat. Once the zombies reached an optimal distance, the team launched a coordinated attack. Tran Lak then added, see that? When there are too many zombies, this is the method we'll use. Alright, he continued. Now it's the level 2 members' turn to lure and eliminate targets. Got it. An hour later, Tran Lak received reports confirming they had wiped out over 100 zombies. I'll handle the ones below, he said. Tran Lak glanced around the area, trying to recall from his past life. There had been a mutated zombie in this market. Maybe level 3 or even level 5. But for now, he hadn't seen anything. Just then, a strange zombie appeared. A lone one wearing a hat, looking different from the others. Tran Lak immediately sensed something was off. Something was approaching him rapidly. As he expected, the hatted zombie suddenly lunged at him. Damn, found it already? Without hesitation, Tran Lak activated his spatial movement skill, teleporting behind the creature, and slashed down with his void sword. As expected, the zombie's head flew clean off. Tran Lak grabbed it by the hair. Don't worry, I'll make full use of your crystal. Elsewhere, some team members gathering supplies turned and looked to the right, confused, only to see Tran Lak running toward them, holding the zombie's severed head, and with a wave of undead following close behind. What are you standing there for? He barked. Use your advantage and run. Launch your magic attacks. Fire. Then move. Don't stop. Within minutes, after killing over 200 zombies, everyone was panting heavily. That was amazing, someone shouted. I never thought I'd kill that many zombies. No matter how many come, we can take them. Tran Lak overheard and reminded them. Just remember, you need to keep up with the zombies' evolution rate. Still, he thought to himself, most survivors won't be able to keep pace as the zombies mutate. Don't just stand around, go collect the supplies, he ordered. Yes, sir. Upon checking the cold storage, Tran Lak found the meat had long since rotted due to power loss. He decided to discreetly pull out some fresh supplies from his spatial storage. It was a bit silly, but it would help lift morale and reward the team. 2 hours later, Tran Lak's convoy arrived at another location, only to be stopped by a man standing in the middle of the road. Hold it right there, the stranger called out. Tran Lak leaned out of his vehicle. Get out of the way. The man squinted, thinking to himself, this guy doesn't look like someone I should mess with. Just then, the sound of a motorbike came from behind. Someone else was arriving. When Tran Lak saw the man approaching, he instantly recognized him. It was Ha Hao Nian, famously known in the post-apocalyptic world as the Unbreakable Iron Fist. Ha Hao Nian parked his motorbike and spoke to the man blocking the road. Brother Long, I heard you caught a live chicken. May I have it? My mother's on her deathbed, and her last wish is to have a bowl of chicken soup. If you help me, my life will belong to you. But the man known as Long Xie shook his head. Sorry, brother, I can't do that. His subordinates whispered among themselves. Didn't he just want to raise the damn bird? Word is he's a former world champion in hand-to-hand combat. So what? One shot from me and he's fried. Tran Lak overheard the exchange and chuckled. A chicken for a life? That's a great deal. If you're not interested, then I'll take it. He turned to Ha Hao Nian. I've got chickens. I've got a kitchen. I can make the soup your mother wants. Now, how much is your life worth to me? Ha Hao Nian replied earnestly. If you can cook a proper bowl of chicken soup, I'll follow you, no matter what. Deal, Tran Lak said. He then gave instructions to Mi Lap and Dai Tru. You guys head back with the others in a different vehicle. I'm going with him to see his mother. Turning to Ha Hao Nian, he said, alright, take me to her. Dai Tru, bring his bike too. Load it onto our vehicle. Not long after, Ha Hao Nian carried his mother out in his arms. He gently laid her down and said, she's in the final stage of cancer. Tran Lak's heart sank at the sight. He knew Mi Lap's healing abilities weren't yet strong enough to treat something this severe. I'll have someone prepare the chicken soup right away, Tran Lak promised. Then he called out, Tu Van, get a room ready for her and for Hao Nian too. Ha Hao Nian bowed slightly. Thank you. Knock, can you cook a chicken soup for us? Please make it with care this time. If you need anything, seasonings or ingredients, just say so. She glanced at him. What, are you saying I didn't take it seriously last time? No, I meant, just take it more seriously this time. Please, hurry. Knock scoffed. If you want a really good bowl of chicken soup, it'll take at least 3 hours. 3 hours? Tran Lak sighed, then said, fine, while you're at it, make some side dishes too. Who knows, maybe his mother wants more than just soup. Winning someone's heart takes more than one act of kindness. A few hours later, a lavish meal was served. Ha Hao Nian's mother was moved to tears when she saw it. My child, this is too much, such waste. Tran Lak smiled gently. Auntie, there's no need to hold back. He scooped a bowl of rice for her and said, please eat while it's hot. She held Tran Lak's sleeve and said, you're a good man, I hope you'll look after my son in the future. Turning to Hao Nian, she added, he went to such lengths to make me happy. He must value you greatly. Don't let him down. Yes, mother, Ha Hao Nian replied softly. Tran Lak quietly stepped back to give them space. Enjoy your meal. Later, Tran Lak stood alone, gazing up at the sky. Ha Hao Nian approached and said in a low voice, big bro, thank you, my mother, she's gone. But maybe it's for the best. At least she's not in pain anymore. Tran Lak nodded. I'm sorry for your loss, Hao Nian, but we have to keep living. From now on, I'll prove myself. I won't let you down. Tran Lak looked up at the sky again and thought. With his talent and resolve, it's only a matter of time before he breaks through. But then another thought struck him. The team is growing too quickly. I need to organize it better. It was time to implement a system. Ranks, discipline and rewards, leadership structure, just like in my past life. He thought, I'll build the framework for a real organization. Vice leader, elder, elite member, regular member, new member. Only Tran Lak had the authority to grant special honorary positions, like those of Dai Tru and Milap. Now that they had reached level 3, they could be promoted to elite members. The rest would remain regular members. And any newcomer would have to stay in the new member status for at least 2 weeks or until they made a significant contribution. Members could also exchange supplies based on accumulated points, which would be awarded according to performance. Exceptional acts would be rewarded with bonus supplies. From now on, rank wouldn't matter, only points would. The next morning, Tran Lak gathered everyone to announce the new rules. Based on the current situation, he said, Tu Van will lead the women's squad. Phuong Vu and Tran Quang will temporarily lead the men's squad. From today onward, he pointed firmly, if you dare to risk your life, you'll live well. Let's go. Everyone, give it your all. Everyone cheered in excitement. Kill zombies. Earn points. These zombies are mine today. No one steal them. Elsewhere, several vehicles rolled into the area. Hey, buddy, wait up, a man called out. His name was True High, and he stepped forward to ask. I just want to ask, why are there no zombies around here? It's strange, the young man answered casually. They've all been wiped out. The mansion ahead? It's the HQ of a real badass group. They eat meat every day. Man, not only have they cleaned out the zombies around here, they've also snatched up all the supplies. True High's eyes widened. Eat meat? Every day? In this era? His nephew beside him nudged him. Let's go check it out. Maybe we can make friends. More chances, right? Another man in the car, Kim Tho, chimed in. Of course, who knows? They might even invite us to eat meat too. I haven't had any meat in days. He then added thoughtfully. Hi bro, I just remembered, before the apocalypse, the major shareholder of Tran Corp, wasn't his name Tran Lak? The guy who borrowed 300 million yuan from us, using a villa as collateral. True High narrowed his eyes. The villa up ahead? That one? Yeah, meh, what's money worth now? It's the apocalypse. True, the guy nodded. That Tran Lak guy is probably dead anyway. Meanwhile, at the mansion gate, Lan then spotted several cars approaching. He grew wary. We don't have enough people at the gate. He quickly reported via radio. Brother Tran, we need backup. Several cars are approaching fast. Tran Lak received the message and calmly went to stand by the entrance. As the convoy approached, True High squinted. Wait a second, isn't that Tran Lak? Tran Lak, too, was surprised. What the hell? Of all people to show up in the apocalypse, it's my old creditor. True High stepped forward with a wide grin. Brother, who would have thought we'd meet like this? What a coincidence. Tran Lak laughed politely. Yeah, what are the odds? You the one in charge here? High asked. Yup, well then, about that 300 million yuan you owe me, it's due. I won't charge interest anymore, forget the 30 million extra. Just pay me now. Tran Lak's face tightened like a stretched wire. Does this guy actually think I'm going to pay him back? But he smiled and said smoothly. Maybe you don't know, but I never leave debts unpaid. In fact, the money was transferred to your account ages ago. Maybe you never withdrew it. If the world hadn't ended, I'd show you the bank slip right now. So technically, I never defaulted. True High blinked. Huh? One of his underlings shouted angrily. Bullshit, that much money and you're trying to duck out of it? Tran Lak shrugged. Well then, go to the bank and pull the records. As if I ever planned to pay it back. He thought to himself, with my skills, why the hell would I? He smiled. You did help me once, so I'll gift you 1 ton of rice as thanks. True High frowned. Come on, brother, that's not exactly fair. Alright, I won't press, just throw in a little meat. He held up a hand. Based on current market value, just give me 10 tons of meat. And we'll call it even. Another guy added, I'll take 15 tons. No meat? Then how about a few of those fine girls around you? Tran Lak's expression instantly turned cold. At that moment, Tran Lak spoke coldly. Even if I've got mountains of meat, there's no damn way I give any to you. What are you gonna do about it? Seeing the change in Tran Lak's face, True High snapped back to reality. This guy wiped out all the zombies in the area by himself. There's no way I should mess with someone like that. Damn, I almost let greed turn me stupid. True High chuckled awkwardly. Haha, forget it. I don't need the money. And I don't want the meat anymore. My bad, Tran Lak. I must have remembered wrong. You definitely transferred the money already. Beside him, Kim Tho was completely confused. What the hell? Why are you backing off? It's just one guy. We've got way more people. Tran Lak looked at True High and said flatly. Looks like you're still somewhat sane. Now move your people out of the way. Without another word, True High waved his crew to the side. Apparently, Kim Tho's earlier comment about taking Tran Lak's women had pissed him off too. Kim Tho, standing alone, cursed loudly. Coward, should have known you were spineless. I must have been blind to partner with any of you. Then he puffed up his chest and taunted. What, just a few of you think you can take me on? Tran Lak gave a chilling warning. So you're all with that guy? Huh? I'll give you 10 seconds to get lost. After that, don't blame me. Hearing that, most of the others quickly stepped away from Kim Tho. He shouted at them, furious. Bunch of cowards. Then he activated his ability and sneered. You think I'm easy prey? Huh? You'll regret this. Tran Lak raised an eyebrow. Dark element magic. And it's even a special summoning type? Huh, too bad it won't work on me. Sure enough, moments later, a group of skeletal undead began emerging at Kim Do's feet. Huh, you've never seen this before, have you? He grinned wickedly. Whoever gets killed by my undead will be sent straight to hell, no reincarnation. If you're not scared, then come at me. Tran Lak scratched his ear. Unimpressed. Who the hell are you trying to scare? You sound like some drugged up idiot. What's next? You're gonna say you're the king of hell? Space-type users like Tran Lak were the natural counter to summoners like Kim Do. This guy wasn't even a high-level user. Just level 2, not even worth Tran Lak's time. So he turned to the group behind him. Alright, take care of this clown. Killing him's worth 5 points. But if you capture him alive, that's 100 points. At that moment, Tiu Hack dashed forward barking. Woof, woof. Tran Lak turned to his cat for translation. Turns out, this damn dog was also gunning for points. Tiu Hack, it seemed, had his eye on the elder position. What the hell, even the dog wants to be an elder now? Tran Lak stared at him in disbelief. Stupid mutt, if you wanted anything, I'd just give it to you. What the hell do you need points for? But he sighed. Fine, if that's what you want, go for it. Tiu Hack barked happily. Woof, this one's mine, no one touch him. And just like that, the lightning crazy dog went berserk, charging toward the enemies and zapping them with vicious electric blasts. Some of the newer team members were about to jump in, but Mi Lin held them back. Meanwhile, Kim Do's face drained of color. What the hell? It's just a dog, why is it that fast? Tran Lak looked on, shaking his head. I was gonna let the new recruits get some experience, but nope. Tiu Hack stole the whole damn show. As Tiu Hack lunged at Kim Do, the man screamed, covered his head, and closed his eyes tight in fear. Fortunately, Tiu Hack still remembered Tran Lak's instructions, capture alive, so he didn't go all out. Instead, he marked his territory, right on Kim Do's leg. I've claimed this one, he growled. Nobody touch. Tiu Hack smirked smugly. 100 points, all mine. Let's see what this fish in the net does next. Tran Lak, witnessing this scene, was absolutely speechless. Tiu Hack, you just peed in front of everyone. You shameless mutt. Still, you can't embarrass your owner like this either. Kim Do collapsed on the ground in terror. Big bro, I was wrong, please spare me. He immediately latched onto Tran Lak's leg. Boss, please, let me live, I'll do anything you say. From the side, True High watched with wide eyes. Damn, he was just bragging a minute ago. Lucky I didn't piss this guy off. And that dog, holy hell, it's a monster. Tran Lak looked down at the shivering Kim Do and thought, there's still some use for a dark element summoner like him. Undead summons can drop crystals too. He might actually come in handy. Though, anything under level 3 won't yield any crystals yet. Tran Lak knew, he had to help Kim Do level up. The guy might be annoying, but he had his uses. Kim Do, realizing Tran Lak hadn't killed him, immediately knelt and kowtowed. Thank you, big bro, for sparing me. From now on, I'll behave, I'll follow every order. Tran Lak made a dark, menacing face. I hope you and your little buddies behave. If you ever think about running off, I swear, if I don't break your legs, I'm not Tran Lak. Tran Quang, he added, find a room and lock this guy up. Treat him like a new recruit. At that moment, True High walked over. Brother Tran, you really are something else. I was rude earlier. Please accept this. He offered a gun as a token of apology. Tran Lak raised an eyebrow, took the gun, and thought, maybe this could be useful. He was level 5 now. Time to test it out. Tran Lak calmly aimed the gun at his own head and pulled the trigger. Bang! The bullet hit his skin and shattered instantly. Didn't even leave a scratch. Hey, just a toy. True High dropped to the ground, his face pale. Is this guy even human? The gap in power between them was terrifying. Tran Lak turned and smiled, handing the gun back. Thanks for the toy. You can take your people and leave now. He reached out and helped True High up. The man flinched in fear. You're ruthless. Brother Tran, I was blind not to see it before. Please forgive me. Maybe we can still work together someday. Suddenly, Tran Lak addressed True High's men. Anyone here have light, dark, or nature elements? If you're decent enough, I might take you in. He winked at Lan Dan, who instantly got the cue and stepped forward. If you come with us, there's always food, safety, and sometimes even meat. Our strength is no joke. You'll be protected. That was all it took. One by one, people started stepping forward. I'm Earth type. I'm nature. Same here. People rushed to join Tran Lak's team. Tran Lak turned to True High, smiling. You don't mind, do you? Of course. True High didn't dare say anything. In the post-apocalyptic world, only strength speaks. True High reluctantly stepped aside, letting his crew join Tran Lak. Tran Lak added, those who don't meet the criteria, that's fine. Go out, kill 10 zombies, and bring back their crystals. Prove your worth. Everyone was fired up. With rewards like this, I had to get in. Let's go. Time to kill some zombies. After collecting his new recruits, True High walked up again. Brother Tran, I live in the Kim Long Gardens. If you ever need anything, feel free to come by. And, if I'm in trouble, I hope you'll help me too. Tran Lak had just taken most of his team. It was only fair, so he agreed with a nod. That night, Tran Lak shared a room with Milap for a strategy session. Tran Lak, she asked, why do you limit team members from overhunting zombies? Isn't it better if they level up faster? Tran Lak explained, killing zombies isn't as simple as you think. I have to consider everyone's safety. Most of the zombies around here are on the verge of mutation. If even one breaks through to level 7 or 8, we're screwed. Milap nodded slowly, and before long, fell asleep. But the truth was, Tran Lak wasn't telling her everything. As a reborn survivor, he knew what was coming. These low-level zombies had to evolve. If they didn't, there would be no high-level crystals. And without those, humanity would never be strong enough. If they waited until the real monsters arrived, it would be too late. The next morning, Tran Lak assigned his veterans to train the new recruits. All zombies today are expected to evolve to level 2. He muttered, glancing at the convoy. Good luck out there, today's going to be bloody. In the apocalypse, death is everywhere. Only the strong make it to the end. Just then, his cat companion's voice rang out. I've got a bad feeling. Something dangerous is going to happen. Sure enough, news came in. Mi Lin was injured. Luckily, it wasn't life-threatening. Tran Lak was surprised. With Mi Lin, Dai Tru, and even Tiu Hak in the group, someone still managed to hurt her? He let out a long sigh. Still, he didn't go after them. No training, no growth. Even if you reach king level, if you never face danger, you'll crumble under pressure. Only true threats would push him to step in. He picked up his cat, thinking, this little guy really is something else. In my past life, only the top dozen psychic users had this kind of observation power. And yet, this furball's only level 3 and already has it? Meanwhile, Mi Lin and Dai Tru were surrounded. Why are all these zombies level 2 today? Mi Lin yelled. They've all evolved. Still, the crystals they dropped were far better than level 1. After Mi Lin finished off the last zombie, Milap collected the crystal and said with satisfaction, didn't expect today to go so smoothly. All of them dropped level 2 crystals. But, unbeknownst to them, a high-level zombie was silently watching from a distance. Its gaze sharpened. This group is different from last time. They're strong. I'll need backup. The zombie turned and disappeared into the shadows. Yo, boys, come eat with me. We've got fresh meat. Meanwhile, Tiu Hak had already sensed something off and darted toward the commotion. Back at Tran Lak's side, an entire horde of zombies suddenly charged their position. Milap quickly cast spells to restore energy and boost strength for Tran Lak and Dai Tru. At the same time, Mi Lin hurled a fireball to block the path. Pull them away from here. We'll handle them bit by bit. Got it. But at that moment, the high-level zombie used a wind spell, sending the zombies forward with a burst of speed. Mi Lin was shocked. There's another one? An even higher-level zombie. She gritted her teeth. Forget retreat. Get ready to fight. Seconds later, a flood of zombies attacked. Mi Lin and Dai Tru engaged them fiercely. Meanwhile, the high-level zombie slipped behind, attempting to ambush Milap. She turned just in time to see the attack incoming. Look out, Mi Lin cried, leaping forward to block the strike. Slashed across the arm, Mi Lin staggered back, bleeding. Sis, are you okay? I'm fine. Furious, Mi Lin unleashed a barrage of attacks, nearly landing a hit on the elite zombie. It dodged, she thought, frowning. Dai Tru arrived, panting. Mi Lin, handle the small fry, leave the big guy to me. We'll team up afterward. Milap immediately cast enhancement spells on Dai Tru. His body surged with power and speed. As Dai Tru launched a powerful punch, Milap boosted him again. Meanwhile, Tiu Hak turned his head and muttered, what the heck is going on over there? I'm gone for 2 minutes and the whole world goes to hell. He saw the 3 of them struggling against one zombie. Damn it, if they die, Tran Lak's gonna stew me for dinner. With a growl, Tiu Hak charged in. Dai Tru spotted him and smirked. Tiu Hak began darting around the elite zombie, distracting it, baiting it left and right. That's when Dai Tru swung his baseball bat toward the zombie's head. But this elite monster wasn't easy prey. It grabbed the bat mid-swing. Milap and Tiu Hak struck simultaneously. Go to hell. But somehow, the zombie dodged again. Oh hell no. Tiu Hak growled. You're not getting away. He leapt forward and kicked the zombie in the back. Don't even try. Dai Tru slammed it to the ground, pinning it in place. Trying to run again. You pig. Tiu Hak shouted, furious. And just like that, the group piled on and beat the zombie to death. That's what you get for messing with us. After the fight, the group was exhausted. That's enough for today. Let's head back. Tiu Hak quickly snatched the crystal from the corpse. This one's gotta be worth a lot of points. Soon, he had a whole bag full of high-grade crystals. Back at base, the cat spoke up. This dumb dog just asked me how many points those crystals are worth. Tran Lak examined one crystal. Whoa, this one's a level 4 crystal. He turned to Tiu Hak. Alright, fine, I'll credit you 100 points. Tiu Hak wagged his tail. Delighted. Heck yeah. Tran Lak smiled and handed one of the crystals to the cat. Here, this is for you. Hurry up and reach level 4. Tiu Hak stared, stunned. Wait, I worked my tail off for those and you're giving it to the damn cat. Tran Lak noticed Tiu Hak looking upset and said, if you hand over the crystals, you'll get contribution points, but if you use them yourself, then no points for you. Tiu Hak heard that and found it reasonable. Becoming an elder is way cooler than using a couple of crystals. Tran Lak chuckled softly. Ha, got you figured out. But this time, just like the cat said earlier, Mi Lin was in danger, though not life-threatening. Previously, when Mi Lap was in danger, the cat also gave a warning, which led to that perfect hero saves beauty moment. So that was 2 accurate predictions in a row. But this time, Dai Tru had also been lightly injured. Why didn't the cat say anything? Maybe it only senses serious danger? Or perhaps, for now, it can only sense danger for those nearby? In any case, this heaven-defying ability clearly needed to be nurtured over time. The next day, while everyone was eating, Tiu Hak suddenly came running in. Woof woof. What is it? Tran Lak asked. Huh? He looks bigger? Even Mi Lin noticed it. Yeah, seems like he's grown a bit. Dai Tru joked. Maybe Sister Nock's cooking is just that good. The cat chimed in. Tiu Hak just advanced to level 4. That's why his body's grown. Everyone was shocked. He really reached level 4? Dai Tru and Mi Lin looked awkward. Not even we've reached that level, and he's just a dog. The cat added. This mud just asked me how many contribution points he gets for being the first dog to reach level 4. Tran Lak asked. What do you even want contribution points for? The dog replied that he had a dream. To become dog elder, and then vice leader dog, and one day everyone would call him dog leader. Nani? Dog leader? Hearing that, Tran Lak gave Tiu Hak a light kick on the butt. Why does that sound like you're roasting me? Huh? Tiu Hak still begged for contribution points from the side. Woof woof. Tran Lak was speechless. Alright, let me think about it. Just then, a message came in over the radio. True Hai was here again. This time with several vehicles and more than 10 people. He's asking for help. Tran Lak thought to himself. Didn't I say that as a joke last time? But he actually came? Let them in. Someone approached carrying a box and said, Mr. Hai said your place surely doesn't lack food. So he's brought 100 purple flowers as a gift. He also said, whether or not you agree to help, you must accept this. Tran Lak was puzzled. Alright, then tell me what's going on. The messenger explained. A powerful ability user named Zhang Vu suddenly showed up. He tried to rob us, not just supplies, but people too. He even arrogantly said that if Hai wouldn't be his underling, he'd wipe us all out. He's insanely strong, easily slaughtered over 10 of our people, half of whom were level 2 ability users. Mr. Hai said we're no match for him. Our only option is to ask you for help. Tran Lak thought to himself. One guy killing more than 10 level 2s? That's no joke. He's got to be at least level 4. Level 2 and 3 aren't that different in power, so maybe this guy has a unique talent. Just like Lan Than, maybe he got a high-grade crystal and ascended quickly. A high-level crystal alone wouldn't be absorbed so fast. If I kill this guy, there's a good chance I'll get a level 4 crystal, or even a level 6. Level 7-1? Tran Lak asked. What type is he? How'd he manage to kill that many? Probably a muscle type. He didn't use any abilities, just brute force to kill our people. Tran Lak stood up. Alright, let's go. Thank you, Tran bro. After hearing that True Hai was being harassed by a high-level ability user, Tran Lak immediately set off, wondering if he could extract a crystal from that guy's head. Before leaving, Tran Lak also asked the cat, will this trip be dangerous? Probably not, the cat replied. I can't sense anything, so is that a no or what? The cat tried to sense again but still came up blank. Relax, definitely nothing. But just then, Tiu Hak also wanted to tag along to earn points, which annoyed Tran Lak. You're staying home, he barked. Sitting in the vehicle, Tran Lak casually commented, hey, your ride's not bad. The guy next to him smiled. If you like it, it's yours. Take it, no problem. He chuckled. Brother Hai definitely won't mind. Tran Lak thought to himself. Not bad, at least they know how to show respect. Before long, they arrived at a high-rise building. True Hai came running over. Thank you for coming, Brother Tran. That guy Jiang Vu is seriously dangerous. I hope you can help. Wait here a moment, I'll go get someone to find him. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a chubby man was lounging around with a few girls, thinking smugly, in an apocalypse like this, who doesn't enjoy a bit of fun? Ha ha, I'll rule this place. Suddenly, someone burst in. Boss, True Hai brought someone. He brought someone? Jiang Vu got pissed. I was gonna let him join me. Now he's asking for death? Fine, let's see who it is. He stomped outside. People around murmured, that fat dude is Jiang Vu? He's that strong? Sounds kinda fake. As soon as he walked out, he snapped at True Hai. What's the meaning of this? I was going to take you in. Now you want to die instead? Tran Lak muttered. Seriously? Just a fat dude? True Hai replied coldly. Keep dreaming. If you can beat this man, then I'll submit. Jiang Vu sneered. Who the hell would dare come challenge me? Tran Lak turned to the cat. Go wait over there for a bit. This guy's all talk. Time to die. Pig. Meanwhile, Jiang Vu's underlings were massaging him, chanting, Boss is invincible. Boss is unbeatable. Tran Lak walked forward and prepared to use his space slicing technique. Man, this guy's way too fat. And this is the apocalypse? Before Jiang Vu could even yawn, he was instantly sliced in half by one of Tran Lak's spatial blades. Everyone froze. No, that's impossible. Boss was supposed to be super strong. Tran Lak stepped up and searched the body for a crystal but found nothing. What are you looking for? One of Jiang Vu's guys asked. Then the underling helped search and said, he probably hid it. Here? Tran Lak broke into a sweat. Damn, this guy really knew how to hide stuff. A second later, the underling pulled out a crystal and handed it over. Tran Lak was shocked. A level 6 crystal? No way. True Hai also broke into a sweat. So this was what he came for. Then True Hai turned to the people and declared, everyone, listen up. From now on, let's unite and fight zombies together. If you're willing, I'll lead you. Tran Lak nodded. Alright, I won't get in your way. I'm heading back. Thank you, Brother Tran. I'll send someone with a gift later. He also handed over a car key. If you like that Bentley, please take it. After Tran Lak left, True Hai said, it's really great to know someone as badass as him. In desperate times, I won't have to panic. Yes, sir, I understand. Back in the car, Tran Lak asked, why are you and Tu Hack always watching that movie? The cat replied, it's good. That guy in the movie might even be stronger than me. I think it's the mechanical Taoist. Boss. Tran Lak scoffed. That Taoist is just fiction. Your predictions are real. Let me show you how a real reading goes, for Milin. The cat changed expressions. Wait, I just got a sign from Milin. Tran Lak tensed up. What did you see? Something bad? Yeah, not to scare you, but yes. Tran Lak instantly floored the gas pedal. When they got back, they were shocked. What the hell happened? Everyone's faces were swollen from bee stings. Tran Lak rushed to Milap. Are you okay? I'm fine. Where's your sister? It's nothing serious. She went back to her room. Her, what? Milap shyly replied. That area, it got stung. Wait, don't tell me. Tran Lak suddenly realized the cat's prediction was just about swollen private parts. Not real danger. At 5:30 the next morning, a boy was seen holding his dying older brother. Don't die, big bro. The older brother whispered. Go to Kai's villa and join them. Don't worry about the others. I can't hold on anymore. Promise me you'll survive. Or I won't rest in peace. Before dying, he added. To join them, you need 3 crystals? I only gave you 2. Take mine after I die. Crying, the younger brother slowly reached out and took the crystal from his brother's body. Why is it always his brothers who get sent out to kill zombies? The boy shouted angrily. Are they that easy to kill? I hate all of you. I'll make you pay for my brother's death. Not long after, he walked up to Tran Lak, holding a crystal. Here, I brought the crystal. The cat, sitting nearby, suddenly warned. He wants to kill you. Tran Lak raised a brow. Why would he want to kill me? The boy put on a fake smile. Can I join your group? Tran Lak nodded. Sure, I'll personally take you around for a tour. But right after that, Tran Lak suddenly slapped him across the face. Who sent you? Why do you want to kill me? The boy panicked. How did he know? He kept pretending. Why would I want to kill you? We've just met. I'm sincerely here to join. I'm running out of patience. Smack. Another slap. He's really going to beat me to death. The boy thought. He couldn't take it anymore. Tran Lak, screw you. I'll kill you. But then, he revealed a rare dual ability. Surprising Tran Lak. It's all your fault my brother died while you just sit here cross-legged like a king. People like you should die. Tran Lak stared coldly. This is the apocalypse. The suffering you endured, was it caused by me? Who forced you to join? The boy was speechless. Shut up. Pay for my brother's life. You bastard. Tran Lak muttered. A dual-type ability user. Huh? That's rare. Too bad. A moment later, the boy paid the price for his recklessness. The next day, Tran Lak thought to himself. The cat should be reaching level 4 today. But 2 people were out on a mission. And he remembered what the cat had said earlier. I sense one of them will die. That person was Du Danton, a wind-type ability user. I'll head over there for a bit. Du Danton said. Tran Lak followed. I wonder if I can alter fate and save him. Up ahead, a black cat appeared. I thought that was Tu Hack for a second. Suddenly, it pounced at Du Danton. Could this be the cause of his death? Tran Lak rushed forward and blasted it away. But at the exact same moment, the cat back home coughed up blood. Tu Hack was terrified. I need to report this to Master right now. Tran Lak returned, deep in thought. So death can be avoided. The cat's powers really are insane. Just then, Tu Hack arrived in a panic. What? Something happened at home? Tran Lak bolted back immediately. At home, he found the cat collapsed. Its heartbeat was still strong. Its body warm, luckily. It was still alive. The guards weren't injured. That means no one broke in. Who did this? Tran Lak asked. Tu Hack quickly fetched me a lap. What's wrong, brother Tran Lak? Treat it first. We'll talk later. Only then did Tran Lak realize. Could it be because I saved Du Danton, breaking the prediction, that the cat suffered instead? After treatment, the cat slowly regained consciousness. Don't worry, I'm fine. It's true. Changing fate caused this, the cat said. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Tran Lak whispered. The cat explained. My body follows a kind of trajectory. You, Milap, and Milin are on it. The others are outside of it. If any of you deviate, I can absorb the backlash. But if it's someone else, I'll be the one in danger. Tu Hack, for example, is far off the path. If I tried saving that mutt, I might never eat fish again. Holy crap, Tran Lak now understood. The predictions can be broken, but only with people truly connected to it. Otherwise, it'll swallow the cat whole. He patted Tu Hak's head. You'd better start sucking up to the cat. It'll benefit you. Tu Hak thought. Why'd I have to flatter that furball? Tran Lak muttered. It's for your own safety. Mutt, from now on, you're her little ox. Tu Hak declared. I'll protect her. 1 month later, Tran Lak gathered everyone and made an announcement. The zombies are about to evolve to level 3. Everyone was stunned. I'm not even level 3 yet. Don't panic. Their evolution only slightly increases their attributes and intelligence. It's not the same as humans evolving. For the first 3 days, just 1 level 3 crystal per day is enough. Any extra will earn you 2 contribution points. After those 3 days, though, you'll need 2 level 3 crystals per day. If you bring in more than 2 crystals, you'll earn 3 bonus contribution points. Just then, someone rushed in with news. Tran Lak, it's people from True High again. Tran Lak immediately dismissed the group. Alright, everyone, that's all for now. The newcomer stepped forward. Brother, we meet again. This time, Brother Hai asked me to deliver some news to you. Speak. There's a trading hub set up next to the 999 National Road toll station. They're inviting survivors from nearby areas to come and exchange supplies. Do you want to go? Tran Lak nodded. Of course I'll go. He remembered hearing about this place in his previous life, but he never actually attended any of these trading gatherings. Now that he was reborn, his plan was to recruit elite survivors who had endured the horrors of the apocalypse. This trading hub might actually be useful. A few days later, Tran Lak arrived at the trading hub. Big bros here to have some fun? One of the traders called out. Hey, you guys want to try something? Our shop has a bit of everything. All it costs is 5 kilos of rice or a level 2 crystal. Tran Lak arrived at the trading hub carrying a large advertising banner. On it was written, buying all types of crystals. Supplies are not a problem. Recruiting ability users from level 3 and up. Special abilities may waive requirements. After arranging for people to set up stalls, Tran Lak took Dai Chu and a few others to stroll around the area. Unexpectedly, they ran into Tiger Bro, Hosie, again, and next to him was the chicken. Wait, wasn't that the chicken Da Hanyan sacrificed his life to get? Why is this bastard selling it now? Just then, a man walked up. I'll trade 300 kilos of rice for it. But Tiger Bro shook his head. This ain't a mutant chicken. 1 ton of rice minimum. Otherwise, forget it. At that moment, Tran Lak stepped in casually. Oh, isn't this Tiger Bro? That chicken of yours, I'll take it. I'll pay with 20 level 2 crystals. Hearing that, the man next to them exploded. Who the hell do you think you are? Trying to steal my chicken? You want me to bash your face in? Before he could finish, he lunged at Tran Lak. But bam, he was suddenly sent flying hundreds of meters by Ha Hanyan. Ha Hanyan stood there, cracking his knuckles with a cocky grin. You guys must be tired of living if you think you can mess with me. Come on, all of you. As a group of thugs charge. Ha Hanyan spoke again. Tran Bro, leave these trash mobs to me. He dashed forward in a flash. Before the first thug even understood what was happening, he was punched unconscious by a lightning-infused strike. 2 others couldn't even see his face before they were floored. Some tried to run, too late. Within a second, the entire group was sent flying. Tiger Bro's jaw nearly hit the ground. Holy crap, I knew Ha Hanyan was called the King of the Fist. But after awakening his ability, he's this strong? Tiger Bro felt deep regret. That kid could have followed me back then, but I rejected him. Damn it. In the end, all he could do was reluctantly sell the chicken to Tran Lak. But the moment the chicken was handed over, it suddenly pecked Tran Lak in the hand. Without hesitation, Tran Lak plucked one of its feathers. Try pecking me again. I'll pluck all your feathers and boil you for dinner. Believe it, after the apocalypse, most animals had developed intelligence and could understand human speech. The chicken froze on the spot, terrified. It clearly understood what he meant. Just then, a loudspeaker truck rolled through the trading area. Attention all traders, please gather at the stadium. I have 2 important announcements to share with everyone. Hearing that, Tran Lak headed toward the stadium. Surprisingly, True High had already arranged a VIP seat for him. A man in a white coat walked onto the stage. That's Deep Sao Phi, True High said, heir to the Deep Corporation. He organized this whole event. But Tran Lak wasn't interested in him at all. Instead, his attention was on the young man walking behind him, Long Vu. A metal-type ability user. In my past life, this guy became one of the few who reached king rank. He can morph any weapon to enhance allies. Definitely worth recruiting. Then, Deep Sao Phi stepped onto the stage and spoke. Welcome, everyone, to the trading hub I've organized. I'm Deep Sao Phi. My survival base now has over 1,000 survivors, including over 1.000 level 2 ability users, 40 plus level 3s, and 3 level 4s. Tran Lak was taken aback. 3 level 4s? Even my base only has 4 people and 2 beasts at level 4. This guy must have gotten his hands on a lot of high-level crystals. Deep Sao Phi continued. Now, for the 2 key announcements. First, the secret of crystals. All 4 of our level 4 users got there by absorbing high-level crystals. The higher the quality of the crystal, the faster you'll evolve. Second, water pollution. After reaching level 4, I discovered the virus in water no longer affects me. Water is life. If we want to survive post-apocalypse, we must reach level 4 as soon as possible. True Hai was shocked. He just casually revealed such vital information? But Tran Lak wasn't surprised. As a reborn survivor, he already knew this. Sure, level 4 users can drink polluted water without harm, but it suppresses their long-term potential. That's why true king rank users are so rare. So why is he revealing this secret so publicly? What's his angle? Deep Sao Phi smiled. I share this so we stop fighting and looting each other for resources. Survivors are becoming fewer and fewer. We need to stand united. He looked out at the crowd. If any leaders here would like to join my faction, you'll be welcomed as elders. All food and supply allocations will be decided by the Elder Council. As soon as Deep Sao Phi finished speaking, a wave of cheers erupted, though it was obvious many of those were planted ahead of time. I want to join. Brother Phi, anyone who's willing to share such secrets must be a man of character. We should follow him. Tran Lak heard this and was speechless. As expected, this guy's no good. What a load of crap. Seriously, how shameless can you be? Suddenly, the woman next to Sao Phi shouted. Joining is completely voluntary, but if you refuse and become an obstacle, don't blame us later. True Hai's face grew serious. Of course there's no such thing as a free lunch. She says it's voluntary, but she's basically threatening us. At that moment, someone suddenly shouted from the crowd. Something's wrong. Everyone, look at this. Turned out Sao Phi's subordinates had secretly distributed flyers encouraging people to hunt down fellow survivors. When Tran Lak saw the flyers, he muttered, what a devious bastard, luring group leaders here on one hand, and seducing their underlings with this crap on the other. Even if the leaders don't agree to join him, plenty of low-level guys will betray them for personal gain. Isn't that basically cutting off their path to survive? Even though Tran Lak had never heard of Deep Sao Phi in his past life and hadn't participated in any previous trading events, the outcome wasn't hard to guess. If nothing unexpected happens, something very unexpected is about to happen to this guy. Once he walks straight into his death, I'll recruit Long Vu into my camp. At that moment, one of True Hai's allies, Tay Lam, angrily said, Loud True, that guy is pushing things too far. He doesn't respect any of us. Let's join forces and kill him. True Hai then turned to Tran Lak, asking if he wanted to get involved. But Tran Lak wasn't interested at all. Children's squabbles, he said bluntly, not worth my time. He waved his hand, signaling for his men to leave. But on the way back, he suddenly noticed a girl following them. As soon as he got a clear look at her, he almost burst out laughing. Isn't that Meng Yin? She was a natural type ability user, someone who could grow plants with seeds. If he could recruit her, they'd have fresh vegetables every day. Thinking that, Tran Lak immediately had someone block her path. As he approached, Meng Yin looked at all the people coming her way and started to panic. She turned around and ran, shouting, Mom, help, I'm being kidnapped. No matter how Tran Lak tried to explain, it was useless. The girl even transformed into a rabbit and tried to flee. But Tran Lak wasn't someone who played fair, he had spatial hacks. He reached his hand through a personal pocket dimension, and a second later had grabbed her by the ears. The rabbit trembled in fear. Don't worry, Tran Lak said, I'm not going to hurt you. I just want you to join our base. It's dangerous for a girl to wander around alone. Stick with me. I'll make sure you're fed and safe every day. He returned to base proudly with a chicken in one hand and a rabbit in the other. Look what I picked up today. When he dropped the rabbit down, she transformed back into a beautiful young woman. Stunning Milap. Picked up? Meng Yin said indignantly. I'm not some wild animal. You kidnapped me. Tran Lak ignored the rant and told Tu Van. Take her to get something to eat. I'd rather starve to death than eat your food. Meng Yin shouted, but within minutes, she was eating happily. What was that you said earlier? Tran Lak asked. Well, I'm not starving yet, she muttered. Tran Lak rolled his eyes. She really does have thick skin. He sighed. Just eat. Sorry for dragging you here. I believe you're a natural type, right? Our base really needs someone like you. If you can grow vegetables, meat every day won't be a problem. Well, I was kidnapped, so I guess I have no choice. She grumbled, but deep down she thought, perfect. I can use this to bring TUNGU here too. Tran Lak handed her a small sack. These are seeds. I'm counting on you. Let's work well together. Later that day, Dai Chu came to report. 3 newcomers we took in were all spies. Ha Haonian and I dealt with them. 2 were sent by Deep Sao Phi. 1 by Tay Lam. Tran Lak replied. Kill them, quietly. Let's keep observing the situation.